Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. Hashtag Blue.
Our sports update deliverer. The Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Cup.
Hang on. Few seconds left in my vacation, so let me enjoy them. Few seconds left. Okay, ready to go. Here we go. How you doing, everybody? All right, we got a really significant story here for the Edmonton Elks. We want to start right there, and that is that the Elks have signed offensive lineman Carter or O'Donnell. Now, maybe you're thinking, how do I know that name? Wait a minute, what's up with this guy? Well, he was an Alberta Golden Bear on the offensive line. They've produced a few offensive linemen who have gone on to play pro football. 26 years of age. Well, where's he been? Why are they signing him on the second day of September? He's been in the National Football League. Okay, so he was originally drafted by the Montreal Alouettes. His rights later traded to the Elks while he was playing in the NFL. So he was very highly ranked going into the draft in 2020, third-ranked player by Canadian Scouting Bureau. He went to the East-West Shrine Bowl. I remember interviewing him when I was doing Inside Sports. He went to high school in Red Deer. Obviously played on the U of A. So now what happens, and Jay, we've seen this a lot. People will know this. Well, Chuba Hubbard's a good example. You might be one of the best Canadians in your draft class, but you're probably going to the NFL, so you get drafted a little lower.
Yeah.
So he wasn't taken until 22nd overall in 2020 by the Alouettes. In 2022, the Elks traded for his rights, so they've had his rights, and now he's joining Edmonton. 6'5", 313 pounds, with NFL experience. He's coming home. He's coming to play for Edmonton. And this is an area of the team, and there are a few, I think. This is going to be a big focus of the show because the Elks were humbled yesterday by the Calgary Stampeders. They need help on the O-line. So at the very least, nothing to lose by signing this big guy who's been playing in the best football league in the world for the last few years.
And he's a tackle.
Right.
I mean, that is a spot that is the most important two spots on your offensive line, aside from your center, but they're responsible for protecting the outside, protecting the quarterback's backside. So major signing. And you know what? Well, first off, welcome back, Reid. Very happy to have you back.
Good to be here.
This just, I guess this gives some credit to management, to Ed Hervey, for realizing and saying, okay, this is not something we're going to fix in the offseason. We need to fix something now. Went out and got somebody that can come in and immediately play and immediately make an impact. Now, he hasn't officially, there's still medicals and all that have to be done, but this is an impactful player. This was the top offensive lineman in the CFL draft that year, but as you mentioned, fell due to him, the likely probability of him going to the NFL, which he did. Played in Indianapolis, most recently played with the Arizona Cardinals, started 3 games in 2023 with them. So yeah, I'm excited about this. This is a guy, don't forget, that was taught how to play offensive line by Chris Morris. Chris Morris pumped out some major talent during his tenure with the Golden Bears, and this is one of his most prized possessions, you could say.
Yes.
Was Carter O'Donnell. So coming back to Alberta, like you said, the pride of the Lindsay Thurber Lightning, I think they are.
Is that what they're called?
Thunder or Lightning, I don't know.
Well, let's look it up on the fly.
Let's do it.
Whenever I hear the name Lindsay Thurber, it always makes me think of sausage for some reason.
Really?
Yes, I don't know why. We play when I was in high school. We played a volleyball tournament in Red Deer, and some of the games they're the Raiders. They are neither the Thunder nor the Lightning.
What?
Well,
I was at Lindsay Thurber over the summer, and they have. My daughter had a handball tournament there, and it's all lightning and thunder.
Because if you're being raided, it's like getting hit by lightning.
I don't know. Maybe I was at a different school. This does not add
That's
up.
amazing.
This does not add up. What's the other big school in Red Deer?
Hogwarts. Yeah, there's another big school in Red Deer. Like the Cam Moon Collegiate?
Hunting Hills. That's where I was.
Hunting Hills.
Forgive me all.
The
Forgive
Hunting
me
Hills,
all.
are they the Thunder or the Lightning?
Well, now we got to find this out. Hunting Hills Thunder?
This is what's great about the show. We can pivot quickly from the Elks signing to names of high schools in Red Deer. They have a very Raidery logo. It's a pirate holding a knife in his mouth.
The Hunting Hills?
Hunting Hills. What are they called?
Geez, you'd think this would be easier to find. Athletics website.
Hunting Hills. Red
Lightning.
Deer. It is the Lightning.
They're the
All right.
Lightning.
So they could have the Lightning against the Raiders.
What a battle.
Which couldn't happen in the NFL or the NHL.
Unfortunately not. Only in,
Could it happen in the Western Hockey League? There's a Raiders. No, there's no Lightning.
well, this is a match made in heaven.
Well, there it is. You got to go to Red Deer to get this. All right. So Carter O'Donnell is joining the Edmonton Elks. As you mentioned, I know there's still some physical stuff to clear, but they did announce it, and hopefully we'll have him on the show tomorrow. And now, he can jump in and play, can't he? Wouldn't he be able to play if he's been going through stuff, getting ready for an NFL season?
Oh, yeah.
So we might see him on Saturday. That would be exciting.
Well, some form, some way, this O-line needs help. And whether a player like that can come in and pick things up that fast, to be determined, or as we say, TBD, bro.
Right.
So I don't know, Reid. I don't know if he'll be ready to go for Saturday, but it's a promising sign for that group moving forward. And I'm not sure who would come out, how the dynamics of that would change.
Right.
But not good yesterday. I mean, they gave up 4 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. Cody Fajardo almost got killed at the end of the game. Not good. Not good at all.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about yesterday's game. And as we move through the show here, we're also going to talk sort of about the overall prospects for the Elks. I don't use Twitter/X a lot. I do put my thoughts out there. I do promote the show. I don't often look at what people are saying to me. Maybe this is maybe I should interact a little bit more. But I actually looked at some of the replies to my post-game tweet yesterday, and depending on who you believe, this is a team with bad coaches, bad players, or a bad manager. That kind of covers all 3 bases for what you can criticize. And I think we want to look into all 3 of those things, bigger picture, in terms of what are the actual weaknesses as we see them, as certainly our audience sees them. What is fixable short term? What might be more fixable medium term? So maybe a year from now, we're talking about a better team. I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear, me included. I was hoping for better results this year. But in terms of just yesterday's game, I mean, was it a butt kicking? When the Elks had the ball, and I know the Elks had some promising drives, but I kind of felt if you take out the 2 drives in which the Elks screwed up themselves, they didn't really threaten. So over the course of the game, you need to kind of threaten more than twice.
They threatened the ball, like moving the ball down the field. They were able to do that. And then it comes down to a couple plays that eventually wrote the story of this game. And I think, the fumble in the red zone, costly.
That's maddening, Jay.
Yeah, they were on a 9-play, 52-yard drive.
Like a player going in motion gets in the way of the snap.
Oh, Reid. Not just any player. This was not a fleet of foot wide receiver or even a well-rounded fullback. No, this was a 6'4", 300-pound O-lineman.
It's an offensive lineman that they line up right, and he's not even really in a fullback position. Like if it was an I formation with the quarterback under center, he's
2 feet off the line of scrimmage.
Right.
I don't understand it. I went off on it on the post-game show last night because it just doesn't make sense to me. We've seen that formation all year, and every time I see it, I go, ugh. Great. Way to telegraph to the whole world what the next play is going to be.
Okay.
Because A, it's going to be a run, and B, they have not used play action off of that set once. At least not that I can recall. So Calgary knows you're running the ball. You give an offensive lineman no leverage on the line. You're trying to run him up the hole to create this run draw play that they like to think they can do, but they can't. They can't do it. That play's got to be thrown out of the playbook. So that was costly.
Right.
Okay, that was a timing thing. Unfortunate, but
now, who is that? Is that on Grayovac?
You know
what?
what?
He moved too early? Did the snap come too late? Does Fajardo?
It was a combination
of
just
a weird play.
I think Fajardo probably called for the ball too soon. Or maybe it was a count thing that was a mix-up.
So the ball should be going behind Grayovac.
Yes, and then he was supposed to be leading that running play up the left side.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it hit him in the leg. Drive over.
Yeah.
But they hung in there. Okay? They get back, they drive the ball down the field again, and Vincent Blanchard missed a field goal. That is a makeable field goal.
Was it 32 yards?
Now,
yeah, you got him. And he missed it right. Most of his misses, or even ones he make, they have been drifting to his left.
And look, that's not the reason they lost the game, per se, but that sure was a momentum swing.
Well, I mean, that's at least 5 points off the board.
Well,
because they're in field goal range on the fumble. They were actually 1st and 10 on the 18.
Yes.
So
moving the ball.
And moving the ball. Really, they had the one good drive in the third quarter, too. And then they missed the field goal, and then they take a pass interference penalty on a snap with 13 seconds left in the half. Calgary gets a field goal. So a game that probably at worst should have been 10-9 for Calgary is 13-4 for Calgary.
Yeah.
And then you give up a punt return, and let's face it, it was game over when they ran the punt back.
Well, and you just said 10-9, so if they capitalize on that,
and it could have been
two field goals.
It could have been a touchdown on the Grayovac.
Right, it could have been worse or better in terms of the Elks' favor. So you're talking about potentially going into halftime with a lead, or at worst, a couple field goals, 10-9,
right?
Assuming the defense holds up. And now it's 13-4. Heartbreaking. It's hard, especially right at the end of the half, for a team to overcome that. And it just snowballed from there. I mean, we got lots to get into on that game, more than this, analyzing it and breaking it down.
I heard most of the post-game show yesterday, but I missed some stuff off the top, so I don't know if you talked about this or not. 4 sacks?
4 sacks.
How? Because I heard some, and I talked to somebody this morning whose opinion about football I trust as well, and he said some of these sacks are on Fajardo because he holds on to the ball for too long. But this person also said to me, that's also Cody. That's how he plays, and sometimes he holds on to the ball and makes a great play or a run.
Well, and don't forget that they're already down a wide receiver in Dunbar. Then Curly Gittins Jr. leaves the game. So they have 2 new receivers. And in the post-game presser from Killam, he mentioned that these receivers need to know what they're doing. So I don't think it was as simple as Cody just saying, hey, I'm going to hold on to it. I don't think the options downfield were available to him.
Right.
And in the second half, Calgary totally changed up their scheme. They were getting pressure with 3 defensive linemen. They had a spy on Cody Fajardo because he killed them with his legs in the first half. Calgary game plan defensively at halftime. They switched things up. Edmonton stuck with the same old. And they stuck with that silly quasi-fullback O-line set that they weren't getting anything out of. But they just... And it surprised me because the offense coordinator, Jordan McSimic, has done this where he's thrown the running game out against Montreal. They didn't attempt to run one time in the second half.
Right.
So he's capable of it. I just don't know why he didn't think to. Maybe because of injuries with receiver.
Well, and Calgary has the best defense in the league.
They do.
Which is
credits
a
to where
big
it's
reason
due.
why they are arguably the best team in the league.
But 3 guys getting a rush on 5 old linemen and a blocking running back, that's not acceptable. It's simply not acceptable.
Well, and that's what we have to talk about on the show today. And a lot of the first hour is going to be on the Elks. How much is players underperforming? How much is coaches not adapting? And how much is it maybe some players just aren't as good as we hoped or aren't developing like we hoped, or Hervey hasn't had time to change out as many players as he would have liked? I mean, we talked about this with the orders, or why is this guy on the team? Well, you got to address a certain amount of guys, or bad players anywhere. So I think that's a part of the bigger discussion we want to have, because sometimes we we focus in, well, if they just change the coach, well, if they just change, like I replied to somebody on Twitter. Yes, I didn't really he wrote back. I said, he said, it's coaching. I said, okay, who's the best coach in the CFL and what's the Elks record if this guy's the coach? Because I don't think coaching has cost them. Maybe you could argue one more win. I mean, maybe you could argue Fajardo should have started all year. But we also know the organization's approach was give Trey Ford a chance.
Absolutely. But I do think offensively, there has been setbacks, more setbacks than there has been progress.
Okay.
Defensively, I think JC Sherritt has adapted very well.
Okay, we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about that as we go along. You can let us know how you feel about the Elks or about anything else you want to discuss as well. We're going to have our off-topic topic in a few seconds. You can text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant. $18.99 prime rib special, available 7 days a week from 11:30 in the morning till 11 at night. Available for dine-in and takeout, but not on show nights. You can also post in the nasty chat. That is the good old chat function going on YouTube. If you are taking us in on YouTube, click that like button. Give us a thumbs up.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
One of my cousins was singing that to me at the wedding last
It's
Saturday.
a catchy little ditty.
You can also email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. And if you're tuning in on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, we thank you as well. We thank you in advance for tuning in between 6 and 9 tomorrow morning on Cruise FM 95.7 on the FM dial. Of course, the announcement was made last week. Very exciting. I'm on the show tomorrow. Of
course.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric is on Cruise FM 95.7 starting tomorrow morning.
Got to roll
Very
out the
exciting.
big dogs.
Onward and upward.
Woof, woof.
The off-topic topic is presented by William Huff. They are some horny dogs over there. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. All right, so I something annoyed me, believe it or not. People will be stunned to hear that I've been annoyed by something.
Do tell.
I shouldn't do this. The one app I probably, because Twitter, I'm pretty good. Get on it, check for news, see if anybody DM me and get off it. Like there's so much junk on Twitter. Facebook, I virtually don't use. I go on Facebook in the morning, usually because I want to see if it's anybody's birthday that I'd like to text. I might do a little bit of scrolling and then I'm like, my God, get off this site. Instagram, I might sometimes get pulled into some, the mindless scrolling or looking through stuff. But what am I seeing all week? End of summer, farewell summer. Okay, first of all, it's going to be close to 30 degrees a few days this week. Should be beautiful for the game on Saturday on Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. We'll have the Green and Gold kickoff show at 4 o'clock. But it's like summer is not over. Yes, Labor Day is a demarcation point. Yes, if you have children or are a student yourself, you're going back to school, or like your kids, they did on Thursday. I get all that. But summer's not over. There's stuff you can do. There are things that you might have said to yourself, I'd like to do that this summer. You still have time to do it. So our off-topic topic for William Huff, what summer things will you still do in September and maybe even into October? Let us know.
I got one that we've been pushing, and it's got to happen.
Does it involve Coop the Corgi?
Not really, but somewhat. He will be there.
Oh,
we've got to have a garage sale.
You're having a garage sale.
We're going to have a garage sale.
No, okay. Just to clarify, you're selling things out of your garage. You're not selling the actual garage.
No. We need the garage. We're going to have a good old fashioned garage sale.
Oh my God! I might even come out to your place for this.
You better,
old buddy.
Maybe we'll have a private showing for Reid and Coop.
VIPs early. I get first pick of the board game.
Yeah. So my mother-in-law built a place on our property, right? So she lives with us, but we just have multiples now. We don't need 2 push lawnmowers.
Oh, okay.
We don't need 2 weed whackers. We don't need 2 rototillers. We don't, stuff like that.
Okay.
But then, the girls have also grown up.
Yeah.
So there's toys that are obsolete now. that we can move a lot of that out.
Slinky?
I don't know if the Slinky ever made it into our house. Probably an offshoot.
So Coop the Corgi, he's going to be working the till.
He's going to be selling. He's bad at negotiating. He's terrible.
just rub his belly.
So we have to have a garage sale.
Coop, where's the $50 for the lawnmower? I sold it for a belly rub, Jay. I'm not sure what the problem was. Okay, well, that's cool. Yeah, garage sale. I think for me, it's, and I'm excited to say this, it's enjoying some runs in the River Valley. And we're going to talk about running a little bit later on, too.
We must.
Part of my, what is it part of? Oh, part of my crunching the numbers.
Yes.
You can still get out there and have a nice run.
I haven't ran since the half marathon. But I had to do the half marathon.
Yeah. I haven't even run the distance of a half marathon since the half marathon, but I'm trying to get back into it. But I'm not trying. I am getting back into it. I got to speak more positively.
Yeah, you've been doing some things. You've been moving and shaking.
Jasmine in the nasty chat says, Reid's right. Well, first of all, mark that down. Jasmine agreeing with me on anything.
That's a first.
Giving me credit for anything. Reid's right. Everyone calm your pumpkin spice lattes down. Summer ends September 22nd. Yeah, then you can be miserable, everybody. Do you know that PSL? That's pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah,
I didn't know what that was at first, and I saw
don't
people
call it PSL.
Yes, I saw. You will see people post on Instagram.
Who?
People who live in my phone. The little people who live in my phone.
Okay.
So they go, I'm getting my PSL, and I'm like, what is that? Something as a second language? I'm like, what is that? Portuguese as a second language? Boy, a lot of people learning Portuguese.
Wow, there's a real Portuguese craze going on right now. PSL, stop.
No, that's what people call it.
Stop.
Some I know. Okay, I can't. But I know I've seen it. I'm gonna get my PSL at your local coffee shop. We should try to get a coffee shop on board, baby.
Yeah, let's do it.
Your Jolt of the week.
That'd be good.
Yeah, write that down as an idea.
Okay, Jolt of
Put that down in your folder somewhere. You got a Rolodex? Put it down in there. 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Keep hitting that thumbs up if you're watching us on YouTube. We are going to have buying or selling for Damon Bunting. When we get back, here comes the Coop.
The Elks have agreed to term with 26-year-old Carter O'Donnell, with the former Golden Bears spending time in the NFL, most recently seeing 5 games with the Cardinals in 2023. And O'Connell's rights were acquired by the Elks in 2022 when Edmonton swapped their first overall pick to the Alouettes, getting that year's 4th overall selection in the deal. And according to Frank Cervalli, the NHL, and NHLPA have reportedly agreed to changes in the upcoming CBA, one rule being a Stanley Cup playoff salary cap, which aims to end cap circumvention using LTIR. The CBA kicks in September 16th, 2026. Meanwhile, Dave Lowry has been hired by the Flames as an assistant coach, and out east, the Jays and Reds continue their series. Jose Barrios gets the ball for Toronto with first pitch at 4:40. Another action, the Orioles and Padres have a date. The Braves and Cubs go at it before the Giants challenge the Rockies. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The Reid Wilkins Show continues on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
Edmonton, if they would have had the ability this season, say they don't win the Stanley Cup, if they only had the ability to manipulate the cap, they would have won. No one, or at least we shouldn't be having those conversations.
Adrian, you want to hit on it?
I love it. It's about time. I think the league doesn't want another instance where they have star player sit out the last few months of the season.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse, presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankers. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Back to school? Really?
Yay! Really? As things settle back into a routine in your home, you may need extra space. Sentinel Storage is here to help with a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
All right, thanks, Coop. Jasmine in the Nasty Chat says, yes, they do call it PSL. I spelled it out because I didn't think Reid and Jay knew that. And then she adds an LOL as she insults our intelligence and worldly knowledge.
Just stop.
You didn't know it was a PSL?
No. I thought it was some foreign soccer league before you came up with Portuguese as a second language. The Pembina Soccer League.
The Pembina Soccer League. It's out by Evansburg.
It's growing. It's got 1.5 teams.
Got Evansburg United, Evansburg City, Pembina Valley,
Real Pembina Valley,
the Entwistle 11, and
how about the Sanguda Swarm? Swarm.
Yeah, they kind of have more of a North American name. Mm-hmm. The team centered around the Pembina River went for the more traditional soccer names. Yeah.
PSL.
All right. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. The off-topic topic for William Huff. What summer things are you still going to do in September? Or what's something you wanted to do this summer that you can still do? Because summer ain't over. There's still more hours of daylight than darkness. We haven't reached the equinox yet.
Well, Chris Sadaway chimed in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Summer activity I want to keep going into fall, procrastinating on housework in favor of yard work.
Yeah, very good. Well said.
Wow, that's true.
Well said.
Scott on a hotel balcony in Beaumont.
Still on the balcony.
Having Reid back just makes me appreciate you guys. Just like Kenny and Dolly, Butch and Sundance, Starsky and Hutch, you guys are a natural dynamic duo.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you, Scott.
How often did Kenny and Dolly actually perform together? Was it just that one song, or did they
Islands
do a whole
in the
album?
Stream?
Yeah, which is a great song.
It's great. Who would you be?
Very romantic.
You'd have to be Dolly.
Well, I'm not going to ask why. You'd go a few different ways with that one.
I think it would be a good duet. We should do that.
Didn't she do halftime at a Cowboys game a few years ago, like on the Thanksgiving game or something like that?
Yeah. She's still got him.
Yes, she does.
Mm-hmm. What, Coob? Yeah, joke around here?
What's the matter, Coob?
She still has that voice.
Yes.
Yeah. Ma'am.
Very talented.
Mm-hmm.
Those vocal cords, yeah.
Both of them. Mm-hmm.
All right. That's great.
Coob. Coob, you had a fun time on the bus yesterday.
Dog with a cape. When did that arrive? I watched Superman for years on television. I never saw a dog with a cape.
Spency 5 Centy. Hey, it was nice to meet you, Spency 5 Centy. Officially a member of the Glue Crew. Posted a picture of him and I from McMahon Stadium yesterday, wearing his Glue Crew shirt. He says, I need to try get some more rounds of disc golf. My first year trying that out.
Oh, good. Play with Trev.
Yeah, you should dial up Trev.
Trev's a big DGer.
Stop.
Well, that's what they call it.
No, they don't.
When they're drinking their PSL.
No.
Hey, brah. You want to grab a PSL and get it around a DG?
DBD.
Yeah, DBD, brah. I got to finish my Philo 110 homework first.
Oh, PSL.
All right. Sorry, I cut you. You were very effectively trying to work the Labor Day bust into the broadcast.
Oh, no, that's fine. Coob had the time of his life.
Well, actually, what's the guy's name? The Superman guy. I forgot his name.
Mike Francesa.
Mike Francesa, yes.
Yeah. He cut me off.
He cut you off.
Talking about a dog with a cape. Coob, best day of your life.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, you were living it up. I saw you doing Bussy Okie on the way home.
Oh, yeah, I had to. We did quite a few songs. I was always singing every song, though, but there was a few of them where everybody was singing together. I'm always singing. Whenever there's a good tune on, you can always see me just, bobbing my head to it, but we really got into it with that one. So on the way back, it was great. On the way there, it was phenomenal. Like, overall, great time. First time being on a coach bus, first time at McMahon.
Did you use the bathroom on the coach bus?
I did not.
That's a shame.
Well, one person, it got locked.
It's a real experience.
And one person unlocked it. Yeah, one person jimmied it.
With somebody in it?
No.
Oh, it accidentally got locked.
Accidentally, maybe on purpose. No, it wasn't.
You should have seen these coach buses. This is the nicest coach bus I've ever been on. It had adjustable headrests. We put on in our bus, at least, well, I think both buses, Maddie had put the 2015 Grey Cup on a stick.
Great game.
So we watched that game on the way down. It was fantastic.
It was fun. They had the two screens on either side for viewership purposes. And then when it got dark, like the LED lights around there, you had the fan. It was like an airplane.
Probably looked like a fancy hot tub.
Kind of did, yeah.
All those lights.
So we sent 2 buses down.
Yep.
And everybody sat together. In, what was it, Section X?
Section X.
And how many Elks fans were there? Because there was the Kill 'em section that had about 40 people, right?
Yeah, like our section was probably 100, 120 strong for sure. Like
were there other pockets of Elks fans as well?
I didn't see as many. You'd see quite a few. Like there were quite a few double E jerseys there for sure. But
kind of just sprinkled in.
Not as many. Like not a pocket like us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And did you hear Dwayne Ford?
I sure did.
Oh my gosh.
So first of all, he's in the nasty chat, not Dwayne Ford.
Right.
There's a gentleman in the nasty chat calling himself supersized Indiana Jones. That is the big uke.
That is.
Who was on television.
I don't know if the uke ever going to go back to that.
And referred to as the supersized Indiana Jones.
What a reference.
By Dwayne Ford. Yeah.
A reference.
You really were. Well, because uke had the hat on.
The hat.
The somewhat archaeological hat.
That was fantastic. We got to cut that clip.
Yeah, we got to find that.
So we can play it.
I think I probably have it on my PVR. So worst case scenario, I could hold my mic up to the speaker
up to it. That was fantastic.
Record it. Yeah. Now, in terms of, was there a lot of like trash talk with Stampeders fans? Did they leave you alone for the most part? What was it like?
It was playful banter.
Okay.
At one time, a guy stood up. He was about a section over, maybe even further.
Okay.
And he stood up and just gave the double bird.
Just out of the blue.
Out of the blue. To our entire section. It wasn't
after an Elks touchdown. We know that.
No, it sure wasn't, because that didn't happen. It was just in general towards us. And nobody was watching him at that point. So I stood up on the bench and I gave him the double birds back.
Just fired back.
And then I waved at him and said thumbs up. And he waved at me and gave me a thumbs up.
Okay.
So it was friendly.
Right.
It was friendly like that. Nothing got at all contentious. And I mean, really, the game was out of hand. Certainly by the mid and third quarter.
Yeah.
But it was pleasant. McMahon is
as dumpy as ever.
McMahon is dumpier than I remember. I remembered it better.
Is it true? Again, something I saw on Instagram that there are porta potties because the bathrooms aren't large enough.
Possibly.
Okay.
I did see porta potties outside of the stadium, but it just is incredible. I had to make sure if I was going down, to get fries or a beer or something, like I would not go during a quarter break or certainly not halftime. You wouldn't be able to move.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The bathrooms
been years since I was there.
The bathrooms are unbelievable.
Okay.
And I mean that. Like you would not believe that this is a bathroom in a CFL stadium.
That's sad.
It is. But sight lines, and Maddie pointed this out, rightfully so, great sight lines. You're not going to have a bad seat.
Okay.
Now, you wouldn't at Commonwealth either, but it was a beautiful day. I mean, and they put us right in the sun, the sunniest spot for the longest time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. By design. For sure. Why wouldn't you?
You were baked.
I wouldn't expect anything else.
Baked glue.
Yes. The glue was hard.
BBJ says McMahon needs an upgrade badly. I think you mean a stick of dynamite. I don't think that thing's going to be upgraded. That thing needs to be replaced.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah.
I don't know what. And somebody was, because I've played at McMahon several times.
Oh, right.
And I forget if it was Hernan's nephew was asking me, where are the locker room? Where's Calgary going when they come off the field? Like, that is their locker room. He's like, they look like
little classrooms or something?
Like mobiles.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And that's stuck together. And they, it is pretty, I mean, their locker room inside is nice, but the visiting locker, you have to come off the field, walk underneath the seats, walk up towards the parking lot. Up, it's a ramp.
Yeah.
And then back under the seats.
Oh, really?
It's about a 5-minute walk.
Oh, jeez.
To get to the locker room, the visiting team.
All right. Let's dive into here a little bit more about the Double E. This is buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate. So or at least one of the replies I saw to me on Twitter yesterday, because I said, look, Jay and I will, paraphrasing what I'm said, that Jay and I will dive into this tomorrow, some of the details, but I said the Elks do not have the talent / experience to beat the top teams in the league. And they have not beat a top team in the league. They've beaten Ottawa twice and Toronto, and they beat Montreal with their second and third string quarterbacks and other key injuries, including the center, Justin Lawrence, who's a friend of the show. One person told me to settle down and said, they just need to stop the mistakes. They are close. I guess my question would be, and I feel kind of bad saying this because I feel over the course of the season, I've somewhat, not intentionally, but positioned myself as the pessimistic Elks guy.
Sure.
But I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm trying to point out what I see. So if you are trying to tell, I really want people to answer this question if they have an answer. If you're telling me that the Elks are close, then my question is, what are they close to? Are they close to being a Grey Cup contender? If you're trying to sell me that, that's really going to be a tough sell.
Selling.
Are they close to being a team on the cusp of the top tier in the CFL? Are they close to being a playoff team? Are they close to just not being last? I'm talking more. I realize there have been games that they have lost at which in times they have looked close, or at times you're sitting there saying, if that just hadn't happened. Mm-hmm. But if those things keep happening over and over again, and you're at 0 wins against teams who are over 500. And by the way, the Elks are at 0 wins within their division. I want to remind everybody, to make the playoffs in the CFL out of the West, you have to finish at least 4th. Preferably 3rd, to make it easier. So if you don't win any of the games you play within your own division, you probably will not make the playoffs. So if they are at 0 wins in the division, and if they are at 0 wins against teams who are over 500, what are they close to? Like I'm asking seriously. Try to make me feel better. And I get what that person was saying to him. Well, if they just eliminated the mistakes, they'll be fine. Yes, but that's what's separating them is mistakes. Okay? Let's just look at a couple plays. Drop pass in the end zone. Cost you a win earlier this season. Missed field goal and a snap that hits an offensive lineman in the backfield cost you 6, if not 10 points yesterday. Look at when Toronto was here. Screwed up on a punt late in the game. So mistakes are part of it, and one way to win is by making more plays. The Elks don't make enough big plays. and often they make more mistakes than the other teams. So that is why, to my mind, they are not close. Now, I will say this. Maybe you can't really answer that question until early next season or even a year from now. And who knows, maybe after next year, Labor Day, they'll have beaten the Stamps by 14 points and they're coming home with a 7-4 record. And people will say to me, see, Reid, they were close a year ago. You just weren't patient enough.
Yeah, but that's different. You're now saying this is a process. You're asking if they're close right now. I'm not accepting a process.
Okay.
That's going to happen, I think, regardless of what happens right now. Every team's in a process. It might be a process downward. It might be a process upward. I tend to believe this team is trending upward. Long term, next year. I also think that they're close to being a team that can knock on the playoffs. I don't think they're close to being a team that is battling to not finish last. I think that has already, I guess, been exposed. They're not a last place team. Look, they were in this game, but you're right. Mistakes are what the best teams don't do. Routinely.
Or they can overcome them.
Or they overcome them.
Right.
Game planning. Like, earlier you said, is this a matter of talent? Is this a matter of coaching? Or is this a matter of, play calling? It could be all three. And I hate to be a fence sitter about it, but that's the reality here, is that sometimes the talent is letting you down. And look, they got depleted yesterday as the game wore on. Niles Morgan out.
Sure.
Jake Serezna out. Curly Gittins Jr. out. Okay? That's hard to overcome on its own. So there you go. But the offensive play calling has been very up and down. I thought there was promise when they abandoned the run game in Montreal, because look, Cody Fajardo can push the ball downfield. But right now, Edmonton is the last in the CFL in first downs when they passing on first downs. They've passed the least on first down than any other team in the CFL. They've done it 108 times. BC, who has the most, has done it 161 times. Edmonton is running on first downs constantly, to the point where my daughter in grade 6 is saying, "Oh yeah, this is another run play. Well, let's see how stuffed this one gets."
Yeah,
creativity. Come on, and we've seen it. We've seen drives where they've had an inside shovel screen, an outside screen, a fullback to the do something. And if the pressure's getting to you, well, there's plays you can call to make them slow down. Did we see a screenplay yesterday? I know they attempted one.
There was one.
And I think it got knocked down.
There was one that was completed, too.
Okay.
There was one that got tipped, and there was one that was completed.
Wide receiver screen. Bubble screen. I've talked about this a lot, but some sort of a misdirection on the offensive line. Instead of saying, hey, we're going this way and we're going to try to beat you. You can't. You don't have the horses in the barn. I'm sorry. It's time to get creative and overcome that.
Okay, so you're both saying there is a lack of talent. We're just to clarify for everybody, we're talking about the offense right now.
Yes.
Clearly the O-line is, I think I politely used the word unsteady yesterday in one of my tweets. And there's no game-breaking receiver even when everybody's healthy. Okay?
Yep.
2015 had Bowman and Walker. And was Zylstra there already? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
You might have been later. But they had several.
Yeah. They had Stafford.
Right, who was a good
Shamad Chambers.
3 or 4, good Canadian.
Was the Canadian.
Right, so I know we're comparing to a championship team. Mm-hmm. So you're saying that the Elks you're saying that Maximic can call different plays to try to overcome the talent deficiencies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look what J.C. Sherritt did on defense.
Okay, let's talk about that when we get back.
Okay.
All right. So we're separating the coaching staff into sort of different sections here. We're also going to have Jay's play of the day. Here is Zachary Kubish.
Carter O'Donnell is headed back to Edmonton with the former Golden Bear being signed by the Elks. The 26-year-old offensive lineman was most recently a part of the Cardinals in the NFL, playing 5 games with the team in 2023. And according to Frank Saravalli, the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs will have a new salary cap system, all a part of the collective bargaining agreement between the NHL and NHLPA. Saravalli reporting that the CBA will have some other changes as well. From Calgary, Dave Lowry has been hired as the assistant coach for the Flames, while in baseball, Jose Barrios gets a start for the Jays in their rematch against the Reds. Toronto losing 5-4 in their series opener last night. Cincinnati has Scott Barlow countering. First pitch at 4:40. And ahead of the matchup, the Jays made a few moves, sending Easton Lucas to the AAA Bisons, recalling Robinson Pina, placing him on the 60-day injured list, making Ryan Rutsky active for tonight's game as well. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Give them a call at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. More with Reid and Jay once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
The Oil Stream. Andrew Mangiapane, total points this upcoming season, over under 39.5.
I'll take over 39.
What do you think he ends up with?
44.
I'll go under 37, but you're still satisfied with him. Brings a lot to the table. Refines his game a little bit.
Plays more.
Plays good in the playoffs. And then next year has a better year. Let's say
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. So the Elks lose on Labor Day. Calgary now leads the all-time series on Labor Day by one win. The Elks did sweep it last year. We'll see if they can get the split Saturday. Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. 5 o'clock game, so 4 o'clock here on Edmonton Sports Talk for the Green and Gold kickoff show with Jay Milne and Matthew Wannock. They will be on after the game as well to break it down. I'm going to do something here that I usually would not do. I'm going to declare that game a must-win for the Edmonton Elks. I said four games ago, I said the Elks had to win 4 of their next 5 to make the final third of the season interesting. Not to make the playoffs, but to have a chance to make the playoffs. So they have won 3 of those 4 games, which I designated. So I was factoring in a loss. If they win Saturday, they would be 5-7 with 6 games left. Mm-hmm. At worst, they would be 2 wins behind Winnipeg and 1 win behind BC if they also win on the weekend.
Well,
so the final 6 games of the season would be meaningful. They would at least have a shot at the postseason. If they go to 4-8, the math doesn't work, baby. It just doesn't work.
Not with the schedule coming
Even
up.
if BC loses, because then Ottawa is now caught up to the Elks. So to me, it's a must-win to have a shot at the playoffs. And even a win on Saturday, I think the Elks would still be far below 50-50 to get in, but you got a shot. You got at least a shot at 5-7. At 4-8, I think it's pretty much nil. So I'm calling it a must-win against the Stamps. And it's going to be tough. They didn't practice today. We don't know how healthy they are. Getting Carter O'Donnell on the O-line is big. We don't know if he's going to play. But, I mean, they could be without Dunbar, Gittins, Serezna,
Niles Morgan.
And Morgan. Now, Anderson is supposed to play?
Well, he was practicing last week.
Okay.
So it's a positive sign. Whether or not he's in the lineup this coming Saturday, because I'll tell you what, that would be a pretty simple move for them to put DeBlanco at Mac or middle linebacker, right, and have Nick Anderson take over his position at weak side linebacker.
Okay.
So I think DeBlanco would be probably better suited for the middle linebacker position, to be honest. Rory, now not McElroy.
Thank you for clarifying.
In the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox says, when it comes right down to it, the Elks have two areas of obvious weakness. The defensive coverage is very poor. To me, the biggest issue is a very weak O-line. Until this gets fixed, they won't be able to compete with any of the better teams in the league.
Okay. I think that's a really good comment, but we're going to talk about what he says about the pass coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they did get burned a couple times early in yesterday's game. They kind of kept Adams under control most of the game after that, but the run, they couldn't stop the run. But we'll talk because you just gave your analysis of Maximic's play calling.
Yep.
So we want to look at the other side of the ball. But first, did you have this jingle last week?
It's Jay.
You had this one.
It's play.
Okay, good.
He's Jay.
Coob had it.
It's today.
Coob has everything.
It's Jay's play.
He's a wealthy man.
I think Coob has the Watergate tapes. You just drop those in.
Jay's play.
That's the first thing I could think of that had to do with a recording.
You know how I like Gates.
Some people are probably like, what is Watergate? Or like, why is Reid making a Richard Nixon reference? It's Jay's Play of the Day presented by Play Alberta. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery, instants, and sports betting all in one place. Players can get a $50 casino bonus by depositing $50 and using the code EST Casino. A $50 free sports bet by depositing $50 and using the code EST Sports. Don't forget to use your game sense.
This one's simple. Going to the Blue Jays game. Heartbreaking loss for them yesterday. I like their chances of rebounding at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio, as they take on the Reds. Now, this game starts. You have to have this in by 4:40, so just under an hour if you want to be a part of it. But it's simple. Toronto Blue Jays to win by 2 or more runs. That has been boosted from plus 115 to plus 130. You can check that out over at playalberta.ca. Click on sports, click on EST specials, and you'll see Jay's Play of the Day, as well as an assortment of EST specials. And always a reminder, use your game sense. But you can check that one out. I'm riding. You riding?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
I haven't done it yet. I will.
We're in.
I got 40 minutes.
You got 40 minutes.
It's Jay. It's play. He's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's Play of the Day. It's Jay's Play of the Day.
Yeah,
Jay's
tickle those
Play
ivories.
of the Day.
All right, Jay's Play of the Day for Play Alberta. Play Alberta, of course, the presenting sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. All right, so coaching for the Elks. Because, again, you know, I saw some comments yesterday that some people are like, it's just coaching. I think there are some areas of obvious talent or performance deficiency. I think the O-line, I think the D-line, certainly that texture has some questions about the secondary, and I also think receivers. So you got several position units that are lacking. If you missed earlier, Mr. Milne is saying that Maximic's play calling is not doing enough to overcome talent deficiencies on offense. What do you see from J.C. Sherritt calling the defense?
The opposite. He's taking what he has and finding out how to put them in the most advantageous positions. They have taken away the deep shot. That was the calling card for this defense early in the season. Why is nobody covering that guy that's running straight down the field? Well, that hasn't happened as much anymore. They are limiting offenses. I mean, if you look at it, they allowed 21 points yesterday. because one of them was a special teams touchdown.
Right.
Right.
If you're right on that cusp where
you can, maybe not always should, but you can win that game.
Yeah.
If you're limiting Calgary to 21 points. Did you see Vernon Adams' numbers yesterday? 13 of 23 for 162 yards. That's not
impressive.
Great. Yeah, Dedrick Mills had 106 yards on 17 carries. That was a weak spot.
But that was the difference, right?
Sure.
This is, sorry, I know I'm going off script a bit here, or off your topic a little bit.
That's okay.
But how many times this year have the Elks lost the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball? Almost every game.
Yeah, I was going to say, when haven't they?
Even maybe a couple of the games they've won, it hasn't been that great.
Montreal, they gave up sacks. Right. They did not stop. I mean, that is certainly probably the biggest area of weakness, which was an area that was addressed highly in free agency. So
the D-line for sure.
Well, even they brought in David Beard back, right?
Good point, yeah.
So, it's a bit of a head scratcher as to why, but I will give J.C. Sherritt credit. He now is finding out more about his players that he has on the field and putting them in positions to be successful. That doesn't mean that you're always... Remember earlier in the year, they'd be blitzing all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, leaving players exposed. And now they've limited that. I will say this. I think the front four has been getting better. It just seems like they just can't finish the job. They can't grab a hold of somebody.
Well, they Olayed on a couple sacks yesterday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it seems to happen quite a bit with this team. So I'm not sure how to rectify that. But I would say out of the coaching staff, I mean, if you're looking at special teams, yesterday was a blip. But for the season, it's been pretty darn good. But J.C. Sheridan, as a defensive coordinator, I think has improved the most on this coaching staff.
Well, and look... and I think people inherently know this. This regime is going to get a couple of years. Nobody is above criticism. And even some people hearing what we talked about, Jay, they might not agree with the coaching stuff, or they might say, no, guys, it's worse than you think, or it's better than you think. That's fine. There's a lot of different opinions when you don't win a lot. Dawson Nielsen in the Nasty Chat says the Elks season was lost when free agency opened. They sunk nearly every resource into the defensive side of the ball. All the headlines were about defensive signings. So we got to factor in Ed Hervey into this as well. Again, that's another response I got. Somebody actually said Ed Hervey had done a crap job, and he used a stronger word than crap. He invested a lot in the D-line, which hasn't been good enough. Now, some people, again, the person I trust this morning said, you know what, these players are underperforming. That Ed put faith in good players, and they haven't played.
Yes.
But Ed, a former receiver himself, didn't get a game-breaking receiver, and we knew that at the start of the season. So I think Ed's got to wear that one, at least to some extent. And then I guess maybe the O-line, I'm not sure. Like, did Ed need to do more on the O-line, or did he put faith in guys who aren't performing as well as they did in the past?
Well, they re-signed Brett Boyko. They brought in David Beard. I mean,
who's had a great career, all things considered.
Yeah, he's been a very productive offensive lineman. For whatever reason, Reid, it's not working. I think having Carter O'Donnell there will give them some flexibility to maybe move somebody around. I don't think Brett Boyko is going to be just gone out of the lineup. I think they would maybe move him inside to guard, or have Carter O'Donnell start at guard in replace of Gabe McKellar.
Well, they've all had tough moments on the O-line. Would, in my mind, from my observation, and we don't go back and get the tape that the teams get, but it seems to me McKellar has been victimized a lot.
That side as well.
The right side.
For sure.
I mean, that game in Saskatchewan, it was all that side.
Yeah. And this is a combination, though. I mean, what did you say earlier? Somebody said the Cody Fajardo's hanging onto the ball too long.
Yes.
Well, if the receivers aren't getting to the spots they're supposed to be because they're simply not up to date on the playbook or the timing, especially the timing.
Yeah.
Timing in the passing game is very important. I mean, Coob, we were sitting in the stands yesterday. We saw Cody Fajardo throw probably a 20-yard out. And when he released that ball, everybody's saying, well, where's he throwing that to? And Curly Gittins Jr. comes out of his break and catches it. That's how far in advance you have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So if that timing's off by a second, Cody Fajardo's hanging onto the ball. So that didn't help the offensive line at all. But I think this is a positive step to trying to shore up something that's clearly a weakness for this team.
Well, yeah, you got to start somewhere. I mean, whatever you think of Ed Hervey, he's not the type of guy to sit around and do nothing. And there's so many ways to talk about this team, right? What did Taylor Inglis say about a month ago when he was in with you? What did you expect this year? I mean, he almost had the attitude that this wasn't going to be a playoff year.
Right.
6 wins, 4 wins, 7 years, you're not going to be good enough, but you got to bring the culture back and bring the standards back. I do think they have made progress in that category.
Sure.
I know yesterday there was a little bit of confusion with some of the newer receivers, but generally you see substitutions done properly. You see an organized team.
Penalties?
To me, effort. Well, they've had a couple games with too many penalties, but
they haven't been out of skew based on the game,
right? But I don't think that. I mean, they started 1-6. They didn't give up. Certainly, they've had times they've been down, but I don't think. I mean, I realize some people said yesterday, well, the Stamps broke them. Well, throughout the course of the game, they asserted themselves. But I don't think this is a team pouting all week, thinking they can't beat Calgary.
No.
Whereas I think we saw some other teams in this bad run late in the season where it was like, 3 games left and guys are already booking their flights back to the States or whatever. So I do think there's progress in the process. But again, it's for me personally, it's hard to see it year after year. And maybe they are close. Maybe a year from now they're second or first in the West, and people are saying, "See, Reid, you have to tough it out." But we've talked about every area of the team that you can criticize: players, coaching, and management. There's been mistakes or deficiencies in all three.
Sure.
And so that's why I have trouble pointing the finger at 1 or 2 guys and saying it's your fault.
Right, but that's not unique to Edmonton. Every CFL team has issues just like this. They're just not as glaring. They're not as prominent as they are here. And do you want me to give you a glimmer of hope for Saturday afternoon's game? Edmonton played awful yesterday. Like they were still moving the ball, but they did not do well. They have a season average of a second down conversion rate of 44%. Yesterday, they were 33%. Coming into yesterday's game, they were 64% in the red zone in terms of red zone appearances versus how many touchdowns they came out of that with. 64%. That's pretty good. Yesterday, they were 0 for 2.
But see, here's my concern, though. That's Calgary doing that to them. Calgary's that good.
See, in the first half, I disagreed. Cody missed a couple throws. But Cody didn't have a great game. Cody was human yesterday.
But that's because Calgary did that to him. They forced him into those bad throws. They rushed him.
Yeah, look, I just think on the offensive side, it wasn't their best game. They can play better than that.
Well, I hope so.
They have to.
But I really wonder if they can play better against that Calgary defense.
Yeah, but credit to Edmonton's defense, too, for making Vernon Adams look normal.
Okay, but then they couldn't stop the running back.
True.
So that's why.
Well, but if you're going tit for tat, if you're going back and forth, and let's say Edmonton does not have that. I know we're hypotheticals here, but hear me out.
Right.
If that fumble doesn't happen, they were marching. That looked like that was going to be a score. That looked like that team was moving the ball. Calgary was on their heels. Boom, one turnover, and the game flips. If they score that touchdown, this is a totally different game we're talking about. That's how fast the emotion of football can change. And the swings can change so fast. And then compound that with a Vinny Blanchard miss from 32 yards.
Right.
And then compound that with Calgary drawing a penalty and getting a 53-yard kick to end the first half. Boom, game's over. Game, set, match. All in a matter of, 8 minutes? Not even? That they can overcome.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm not, quite frankly, I'm not sure they can specifically against Calgary. I think Calgary is that much better than them, but we'll see. All right. We are in the Banquet studio, craving a late night snack. Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. until close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet, get real, play hard. Crunching the numbers, the oil understood, all coming up.
The Lock
The
Shop.
guy that's feeling the heat today is Jason Hogan, the Bombers' new offensive coordinator. For not giving Brady Oliveira the rock enough. But I mean, that's the best call you've got on a 2-point convert to send the game to overtime. I mean, especially with Zach. Like, listen, Zach had a lot of great plays in that game, but the arm isn't what it maybe was a few years ago.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
World-renowned top psychic medium and the star of Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser comes to River Cree Resort and Casino on September 12th and 13th for a couple of special live shows. Join Matt for 2 nights of healing, hope, and laughter. Matt has become a trusted figure for people seeking closure, guidance, and connection with their loved ones. Don't miss Matt Fraser live at River Cree Resort and Casino September 12th and 13th. Both shows are 18+. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Lobsterfest is back at the Canadian Brewhouse, Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. A pound and a half of fresh Atlantic lobster with all the fixins for just $49.99. Pair it with a stein of Alexander Keith's. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Looking for a smart alternative to heating and cooling your home? Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson, your cold climate heat pump specialists. We'll explain how Trane heat pumps offer a reliable, cost-effective heating and cooling solution. Order your Trane heat pump now and take advantage of the Canada Greener Homes Loan Initiative. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. From the most experienced HVAC company around, family owned and operated for nearly 50 years.
Visit weiss-johnson.com.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
The Elks have agreed to terms with former NFL offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell, with the 26-year-old seeing 5 games with the Cardinals in 2023. And the former Golden Bear had his rights acquired by the Elks in 2022 when they traded their first overall pick to the Alouettes for O'Donnell's rights in that year's 4th overall selection. And at 4:40, the Jays take on the Reds to kick off things in the majors. Toronto making Ryan Borutsky active for tonight's game while placing Robinson Pina on the 60-day injured list, optioning Easton Lucas to the AAA Bisons as well. It's Jose Barrios getting the call for the Jays. And other matchups include the Guardians meeting the Red Sox, LA and Pittsburgh going head-to-head, with Seattle on the road in Tampa to play the Raids. And earlier today, Frank Saravalli reported that the NHL and NHLPA have both agreed to implement a playoff salary cap for next season in hopes of ending cap circumvention. This is one of many rules, a part of the new CBA, which kicks in September 16th, 2026. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, hope you're having a great afternoon. Hope you had a great long weekend. Remember, the summer is not over.
No.
Still some good weather. So our off-topic topic for William Huff, what summer things will you still do enjoy in September and who knows, maybe into October, or something you wanted to do this summer that you still plan on doing? Or we're reminding you, you can't say, well, I wanted to go, I don't know, I wanted to do a river float. Or one of my friends went paddleboarding on the North Sask yesterday.
Oh.
You can still do that if that was on your summer list. You can still get out there and do that.
Fun.
Right.
This comes in from Tube Socks. He says, my summer includes September. Brother Morg says, I'll be disc golfing well into the fall.
Oh, excellent. DG?
Neighbor Danny says, welcome back, Reid.
Hello.
Can the Wannabes get a shout out for winning the annual Rye-Toff slow pitch tournament this weekend? Well, you sure can. Congratulations, Jamie from Beaumont and neighbor Danny.
Well, perhaps, Wannabes, if you'd like to provide me with some photos of your victory and some written recollections, I could bind them into a book for you. The Summer of the Wannabes, we could call it, perhaps. I do offer bookbinding services.
All right. Thank you, bookbinder.
Thank you. The last bookbinder.
He is the
Alberta.
last bookbinder in Alberta.
And Norm the Combine says, damn farming and work are killing fun, Norm, in quotes. And this one came in from Andrea from Calgary, who was great to meet. She came all the way. She was sitting kitty corner from us at McMahon. Her and her daughter walked all the way around the stadium to come and see everybody, the ESTers. And we met. It was great to put a face to the name. It was very nice meeting you, Andrea. And I hope your daughter had a great first day of school today. First day of grade 7. So a little bit, different world. But she says, when I asked the kids how it was meeting everybody from EST yesterday, they said it was a lot of fun. But then my son added, everybody? We didn't meet Reid Wilkins.
Fair enough. I was not the only one not there. Was I?
No,
Was Trev there?
Trev was there.
Was I the only one who didn't go?
No, Joaquin wasn't there.
Joaquin didn't go. Everybody else went, though, eh?
Belsey wasn't there.
I guess Dustin technically wasn't with the group.
Dustin and Tommy totally snubbed us.
That's to do with their little TV jobs.
Please.
Tube Socks also sent in a limerick to read at edmontonsportstalk.com. Did we get a lot of limericks while I was gone?
Yeah, and I've got 3 already sitting here,
too. 2 pals back together behind the mic, reunited, their rhythms just right. Jay kept the flame lit while Reid watched some skits. Now together, the show sounds real tight. That's from Tube Socks. Pretty good. You want to do one of yours?
This one comes in from VR Montenegro.
Good guy.
Behold the green and gold in the crowd. A pocket cheering voice losing loud. Alas, I was away, could not join in the fray. Well job, friends. You've made the nasties proud.
Oh, well said. Well said. All right, we'll get to more limericks later on in the show. We will have, so I missed some stuff while I was gone. Obviously, McDavid spoke. There was the Olympic orientation camp where they just did, it was just classroom work.
Yeah, well, we just said it was trust things.
They just
like Connor
just
McDavid
trust activities,
falling backwards off of a chair,
getting caught by
into
everybody.
the loving arms of his forward group.
Right. Okay.
But he has to trust them.
But the news conference was McDavid, Crosby, and Reinhart.
Yes.
And then Zach Hyman did an interview with Paige Martin.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that as well. So the Hyman still has the big wrist brace on. And it basically sounded like he's hopeful he's going to start the season, but not totally sure.
What was your
pretty major injury?
Yeah, what was your feeling on that? Because
we kind of knew that he might not be ready for the start of the year or for the start of camp. I think I don't know. My sense with Hyman is that he starts the regular season, but maybe doesn't play until late in the preseason, and maybe is limited early in camp. That's what I got out of that, which is kind of what we thought going into the season. But we'll talk more about that for the Oil Understood. We're going to have some fun here, and I have another football-related thing, Jay, that I wanted to get to as well. We're going to crunch some numbers for Gallo LLP, Chartered Professional Accountants, where they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John at Gallo LLP if you'd like to discuss further how they can crunch your numbers and help your business grow. Visit their website, gallolp.ca. See how Gallo LLP can help your business grow. I got to talk about the other football game yet. Well, first of all, the 2 of the 3 games on the weekend were epics. I mean, Winnipeg rallied against Saskatchewan. Winnipeg had a chance to tie. Saskatchewan runs back the defensive convert. By the way, Castile flubbed that second onside kick.
Yes.
He only kicked it 6 yards.
No, he got under it.
Yeah.
It's like when you get under your golf ball and it goes straight up in the air.
Yeah.
That's what happened. But how did they not recover that? It was sitting right there.
Oh, yeah. Then Castile almost got it.
Yeah, you know why?
The kicker. You can't trust the kicker. Trust the kicker.
Trust him at one job. Trust him at one
and
job.
Even that, so you don't always trust all of them. And then the other game yesterday.
Wow.
So here are some numbers. 49, 12, 7, and 1. And also 25 and 4. So Dejan Brissett, okay, I'll go through the play. Toronto's on their own 49 with 12 seconds left. Arbuckle throws the pass. Brissett somehow gets it in between two guys
Yep.
who then both fall down. So neither one of them can make the tackle. So he catches it with 7 seconds left, and he starts running, as he should.
Or should he?
He could have just given himself up that quickly.
You could have went for 5 and given yourself up.
Well, this is the thing. I was watching the replay again today. You were there too. He could have probably rolled to the turf at about the 25 and stopped the clock with 4 seconds left. Then Hiralahu comes in. He's kicking from 32 or 33. Probably going to make it. As a receiver, you've done your job. If the kicker messes up in that situation, that's on him. And if the kicker did miss, it probably goes through the end zone and ties the game for overtime, unless it hits the upright. Now, I understand. Well, I guess for someone who hasn't played, I suppose I understand the excitement of trying to score a game-winning touchdown. But
I guess just complete mismanagement.
But Toronto should have lost on that play.
Yes.
It was a heroic play. No, you know what it is? It's a stupid play that got disguised as a heroic play because he lucked out.
Yeah.
By stepping out of bounds.
By accidentally stepping out of bounds.
He stepped out of bounds with 1 second left. They had to review it. If that's not in the final 3 minutes, they don't even check the clock. It's like, was it 12:58 or 12:57? Who cares?
Right.
They only check the clock because it's in the final seconds. He's out of bounds at the 4-yard line with a second left. And we were watching it today. Did not a teammate yell at him?
Everybody. You could hear it on the broadcast.
Right.
Get out. Get down.
What do you do?
He should know the time and space. When you caught that and those 2 defenders fell down, run to the sideline. Get out of bounds. You would have been out with 2-3 seconds left.
Right.
Right? That would be the smart thing to do if you were actually in the game. If you were actually thinking straight.
But that's part of his job, is to know I probably don't have time to run to the end zone. Right.
Everything. You got to know that. And honestly, Arbuckle probably should have. I'm assuming he didn't, but he should have reminded them, hey, we're taking a shot. We got to get to this. Give yourself up.
Right.
Get out of bounds so we can take a kick at this. But that was incredible.
Toronto should have lost that game. It was a heroic play that was actually a very stupid play.
That's a great way to put it.
He's got to run straight for the sidelines. And get out of bounds.
You know what made me kind of happy though?
What?
Well, Bo Levi, the guy rubs me the wrong way sometimes.
He's not a popular player.
He's a very confident person, and he's not afraid to show it. Well, boy, did he show it when they scored that go-ahead touchdown pass to Kenny Lawler. Oh, look at me. I'm the king of the hill. So for me to see Arbuckle
was that where he was
in the
slapping his wrist?
Yeah.
What is that? I don't even know what that means.
He was injecting into his, he's like, I'm too good.
What?
Yeah,
he was miming taking heroin.
I don't know what they put in their veins, but it's like ice or something. It's like a taunt. Like, I'm better than you. I got ice in my veins.
Oh, that's what it means.
Kind of thing. And then for Arbuckle and the Argonauts to come back and have that memory of him celebrating like that.
But it's
incredible that they came back.
It was a great catch by Brissett to somehow get that ball, but then a terrible play to try to. I don't have a problem with him turning around and saying, "Hey, I can get 10 more for my kicker," and then go down. But for him to try to score, that was. If there would have been nobody between him and the end zone, sure, take it in. But he was being pursued.
Yes, aggressively.
He's got to go down. So that was awful, but. Exciting. That added to the excitement of the game. What other numbers do I have to crunch? I have some numbers to crunch for my time off. Do you want to hear them?
I'd love to.
Fringe shows seen.
Ooh, can we do over and under?
You want to guess? I think I've told you already, didn't I?
Well, I think you did.
I might have told you last week.
But I think you may have added some extras too.
Abutsky says, heroic or stupid, that play was damn fun to watch. Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
From a pure entertainment standpoint, and because we didn't have any skin in the game, well, actually... Elks fans should have wanted Toronto to lose, quite frankly.
Yes.
But it was absolutely thrilling to watch.
Yeah. 13.
You've nailed it.
Have I?
So I went to 12 shows during the Fringe, all in the first week of the Fringe. And then I saw a holdover show on Saturday.
Yeah, I had you at 2 a day for approximately 6 days. And then...
Yeah, because I couldn't go, the last 4 days of the Fringe, I couldn't go to a show.
13 shows.
Yeah, I think my record is 17. That was a long time ago. I usually try to get to 10, but as you know, I planned them all out ahead of time this year. So I saw what was it? I saw one on one day. I saw the first Thursday of the Fringe. I saw one.
Because didn't you have a triple header one day?
I did a triple header the first Saturday of the Fringe. I did a triple header the Monday. I did a double header Tuesday. I did a double header Wednesday, and I did get one in on the Thursday.
You're crazy.
I love it.
What was your favorite show?
Okay, so I finally saw, and I saw a lot of really good shows. There was a locally produced musical called Final Girl, which was a blast. Mockery was obviously funny. Scratch was funny. I saw some improv. I finally saw a gentleman by the name of Chase Paget. He lives in Nashville. He's at the He's been coming to the Fringe for a long. I think he said he's 42 or 43. He's been coming to the Fringe for a long time, and he plays guitar and does storytelling. And I'd always hear Chase Paget. I'd always think to myself, how good can it be? Mm-hmm. How good can he? Like, he's probably good, but like, so I finally saw him. I teared up during the show.
Really?
But I also laughed. And so he does storytelling and he plays his guitar. So the theme of this, he has different shows. This one was called How to Play Guitar Poorly. So he says, hey, lesson 1, never practice. And then he tells a story about practicing. So the story was about two father figures that he had in his life. One of whom was his actual father, who struggled with mental health and addiction and passed away when Chase was 19. The other was the gentleman at his school who got him more seriously playing guitar and got him into the school band. And so he tells stories about traveling and playing the guitar and what music has meant to his life. But then his last story, he tells a story about his father's funeral. He plays the song he played at his father's funeral. And then he tells a story about reconnecting with this high school teacher who's now in his 70s.
Wow.
And saying, hey, so he grew up in Florida, and he said, hey, I'm doing a show, upstate. I know it's a 4-hour drive. And the guy said, I'll be there. The show up in front of about 1,000 people. And he got to tell the story of the guy's impact on his life with the gentleman in the crowd.
Wow.
And then point him out and then say at the end of the show, oh, by the way, he's here tonight.
Wow.
But there were just some other incredible moments. So that one is going to stay with me.
Really?
I mean, there was only one show to the 13 that I was kind of like, okay, but you take a chance sometimes. But this Chase Paget show is going to stay with me. Like, I will remember moments of this show and how it made me feel.
Wow, that's good.
Really, really cool.
Can I ask you? You said something about watching a rat.
Rat Academy. They're hilarious. Yeah, they're amazing. Two local young women. So they do a show as the last two rats in Alberta. So they had Rat Academy for a couple of years. Now they have Rat Academy 2. They are awesome.
Oh, that's great.
So they kind of have a story, but they also do audience interaction and work in a little improv as well. Very, very good. And then my other number, kilometers run while I was off work.
Oh.
19.15.
Really?
I have decided I need to quit moping and become a runner again.
Wow.
I still have never told the full story, but I have mentioned I have had, there's something wrong with the bones in my feet. So this has greatly limited my ability to run and to run as often as I would like. Now, I went through about a year and a half where really I couldn't run because it was unsafe for the pain I was in. I've had some relief with that. But you know about this, Jay, because I've told you a little more off air. I kind of went through this mental state where I thought to myself, well, you can't do what you used to do, so why bother doing anything at all? And then with you and Hernan running, I thought to myself, I got to get myself out of this mindset. I like being a runner. I like getting up on a Saturday or Sunday morning and going and running in the River Valley. I would love it if it could be 10, 15K. It may not ever be that again. It may not be every second or third day. But I've got myself a little schedule here where I'm probably going to run 6 to 8 times a month. Probably can't do a lot of kilometers. Maybe I'll be able to build up. We'll see how everything's go.
Start
how
somewhere.
Things go. But damn it, I'm going to be a runner again. And counting the 5K on marathon day, I ran a little over 19K in the last 17 days.
It's fantastic. And I got to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm quite taken aback right now that I'm an inspiration for you. So, there's that.
Well, you guys were for sure. And I love talking about running with you guys. And I tuned in Monday after the race because I wanted to hear you talk about it and Hernan talk about it and Evan Dom.
Yeah.
Like, what was he, an hour 38 and a half, hour 36?
Blazing.
Insane time like
we
that.
should go for a run together.
With Evan?
No, you and I.
Oh, you and I.
Yeah, just a couple buds.
I'm not very fun when I
don't want to talk to you either.
No, I don't want to talk. I don't like running with other people. I couldn't do that.
Well, I guess maybe we shouldn't run together because it's not like a conversational thing.
No.
You're not there like, oh, so what do you got going on later today?
Shut up. So those are crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP. The oil understood. Coming up for GCL Diesel. And of course, Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery all in one place. With easy access to real money games, you can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. Coob, you go now.
Twenty-six-year-old offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell and the Elks have agreed to a contract. The former Golden Bear spent parts of 3 seasons in the NFL, most recently suiting up in 5 games for the Cardinals in 2023. From Toronto, the Jays battled the Reds after dropping a 5-4 decision last night in their series opener. Tonight, Jose Barrios gets a start. Ryan Barutsky is active for the Jays, with Easton Lucas being sent down to the Bisons. And right now, the Mets and Tigers are warming up, with the Dodgers and Pirates about to get underway as well. In other news, it's been reported that the NHL and NHLPA have agreed to some revisions to the new CBA. One rule change has a playoff salary cap being implemented for next season. NHL insider Frank Saravalli reporting. And on the court, Caitlin Clark has not been cleared just yet for contact drills in practice. Clark has been limited to just 13 games for the Fever this season. Playoffs are just a week away, and the Fever do play tonight. They tip off at 8 o'clock against the Mercury. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. We have a brief intermission before the Reid Wilkins Show resumes. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Hannah Van Biber joins us on the show.
I hate to say it, but I was not a believer at first. I was like, this is a rebound. This is a fling. Everybody wants to date a football player once, and then they, move on to someone else more serious. And he was so different from anyone she had dated. She'd only dated sad singer-songwriters. So I'm happy to see it. She's in her happy era, and she decided to get married to
The
it.
Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings, 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
World-renowned top psychic medium and the star of Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser comes to River Cree Resort and Casino on September 12th and 13th for a couple of special live shows. Join Matt for 2 nights of healing, hope, and laughter. Matt has become a trusted figure for people seeking closure, guidance, and connection with their loved ones. Don't miss Matt Fraser live at River Cree Resort and Casino September 12th and 13th. Both shows are 18+. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
September is here. Although summer's entering the 7th inning stretch, the Jays are in full swing. Be ready for the baseball playoffs, and when the fall season arrives, create space with Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Yeah. It's the glue guy, holding it down. You know the vibe. Friday night lights to early morning strides. Used to lace up the cleats, crowd screaming my name. Now I'm lacing up Nikes, but the hustle's the same. Studio lights, hot takes, I'm running the game. Half marathons on Sunday,
track
still
here.
chasing that fame. They call me the glue guy.
Was this somebody made that AI for you?
Yeah, Dave.
Dave
from Ewell.
The glue guys. What's it called? The glue guy tumble?
The glue guy tumble?
I don't know where. I don't know.
The glue
Just
guy
making up words.
grind.
The glue guy grind.
Yeah.
Because you are the ultimate grinder.
I like coffees.
A lot happened while I was gone. So some of the things, there were interesting things to talk about. So some things I'm going to chime in on just to give my 2 cents. So we had that clip during the commercial. That was somebody talking about the Kelsey Swift engagement.
Yes.
Did you guys do a lot about that on this show, or did people have a reaction to that?
There were. Yeah, most people are generally happy for them. The whole Taylor Swift thing kind of got muddied because people were upset that she was being shown on NFL broadcasts more than once. And for me, who cares? I really didn't bother me. And from what I've seen of the couple, and I don't know, you can give your take, but they seem like they're genuinely in love. Contrived or not, I don't know.
A lot of
I know, but you see things.
I haven't spent time with them recently.
Well, once you get to know TNT, like I do.
Is that what they call themselves?
That's what
Is that what the media calls them? TNT?
I call them.
Because they're dynamite, baby.
No, T-Swizzle and Travis Kelce. Anyways, if you know them like I know them, no, I honestly, Reid, I think it's blown out of proportion. Some people get all uptight about seeing happy people, successful people being happy.
Yeah, if they want to get married, more the power to. And
God bless you.
Yeah, and I mean, they got to announce it publicly because there are billions of, especially her fans, that would care about her life.
That was funny. We did because that Instagram post, had already gotten, within 24 hours, 37 million likes.
Jeez.
I don't know what it's at now.
That's insane.
So one day when you were gone, we looked at, the sports photo with the most likes on Instagram. Would you care to take a guess?
Oh, I think you told me this. It's soccer, right?
Yeah.
Which would make sense.
Lionel Messi holding the soccer World Cup in 2022.
Okay.
74 million likes. So we asked the question, if Instagram was around since 1950, which sports photo would have the most Instagram likes? First one that comes to mind
Ali
for you.
standing, the one from above the ring. Was that Ali over Liston?
Yes. That was up there.
Maybe a Jordan 1 dunking.
Right. That was mine.
Tongue hanging out.
Was the from the foul line. That's pretty iconic.
Because it would have to be someone who was an international name. Okay, Bobby Orr's goal. No one outside of Boston cares.
Sorry.
Not, you know what I mean? They care, but it's not.
It's hockey.
It's not the same.
Not the same. What about the what was it? The one in the Olympics where the two guys were holding up their fist.
Carlos and Smith. Are those their names?
Yeah.
1968 in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that would be an iconic
Do I have the right
photo.
Olympics? But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Right. So that was a fun.
And to get a like on Instagram, it has to have this incredible widespread appeal.
Yes.
Right. Like,
well, and of the top sports photos on Instagram, I'd say 70-80% of them are soccer related or football, as we like.
Yes, which would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you didn't have Taylor Swift on the show, though.
We reached out
for reaction. And she has a new album coming out as well. Well, everything's happening.
Oh, yeah.
for her.
And Jasmine will tell you all about that. She thinks this is completely contrived and is miserable for the couple.
The one thing I have learned over the last couple of years, though, is that I find I have to have at least a broad knowledge of what's going on with Taylor Swift so I can talk to people.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because she's so popular and so not all consuming, but the people who like her really love her. And there are a lot of people who really love her. So it's kind of like you kind of got to know what's going on to some extent, I think.
Sure. I mean,
can't hurt.
Can't hurt.
It's like if somebody was like, hey, I'm going for lunch with Reid, you might want to say, you may want to just brush up on Def Leppard just a little bit.
Right. Yes. Wash your hands. Make sure you come clean.
What does that have to do with Def Leppard?
No, it has to do
because the
with...
one guy's missing an arm. Jay, you got to bring it all. You got to bring it all back to that. Eh?
Sorry,
make sure you wash your 9 hands.
I said wash your
really
hands.
Nice.
Wash your hands.
Really nice.
Don't forget to wash your one hand.
Oh my goodness! All right, we are coming to you from the banquet studio. Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. What?
Reid, I'm glad to have you back. Glad to have you in studio here.
I love the Big Uke, now calling himself supersized Indiana Jones in the nasty chat.
Well, when you get called out on a TSN national broadcast by Dwayne Ford, something's got to stick. Yes. There was a lot sticking to that man.
Well, he was very prominent in the imagery that we saw on the broadcast. All right,
and it was beautiful to see it start with one button undone, and then it escalated to two.
Yeah, it was a bit of a striptease.
And then the belly button was showing, and then by the time we were already back at the Brewhouse University Ave, which, by the way, where we did our pre and post, the nicest brew house I've ever seen.
Oh, cool,
beautiful. We were watching on the TV, and there's Big Uke, shirt wide open. So it escalated all the way to that. It was beautiful.
Remember to give us a thumbs up if you were watching on YouTube. Click that thumbs up button.
Click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click.
Thumb. If you're taking us in through the TuneIn Radio app or the iHeartRadio app, we thank you for that as well. Maybe you're listening on the future in a podcast. You can sign up for the Reid Wilkins Show, the Nielsen Show, all our great programming here on EST, wherever you get your podcasts. And starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, the Nielsen Show is on Cruise FM 95.7. What is the proper way to say their station?
Simulcast.
Is it 95.7 Cruise FM or is it Cruise FM 95.7? I got
95.7 Cruise FM.
Okay, 95.7 Cruise FM.
7 and M.
So the morning show will be on 6 to 9 every day. But then the rest of our Edmonton Sports Talk day is actually Edmonton Sports Talk is not affected.
Not at all.
Anything you stream. The morning show is the same. It's on Cruise and on all our other platforms, and all the other shows remain on all the other platforms as well.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything. Even for the morning show, going to in and out of sports breaks, that stays the same on YouTube and on the audio streams because Eric will still do his sports breaks. They're just going to be slightly longer. But if you're listening on Cruise FM, they're going to go to commercials. Because they are a traditional radio station.
Yes.
They sell 30-second commercials.
Yeah.
But it's going to dovetail into coming back at the same time. They've been here doing a lot of work over the last few weeks, getting us set up to be able to do this and monitor things so everything's coming in streamlined. Will there be a hiccup or two? Probably. I don't know. Maybe there won't be. But other than the Nielsen Show will start at 6:04, not 6 or 6:02. It'll start at 6:04.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah.
My cousin just texted me, when are the words of the day? Because he provided them. So they're at the same time. I'll have to text him back.
Cousin James, Reid's cousin. So when Reid was away,
James provided the words of the day.
Reid brought in his two cousins, James and I always miss
Chris. James and Chris. Yeah.
James and Chris. They came and toured the studio. James took a photo with me, which I thought was great. A little bit of a fan of mine, all the way out in Waterloo.
Yeah, he is a fan of yours.
So James, they're coming up. I've got him right here in my hand. He'd hand-delivered me this, brought him out of his wallet, and he said, this is for when Reid comes back. Right here in my hands, folks, I have two words of the day for Reid that's going to be coming up at about 5:45 from Cousin James. Well done.
That's exciting. All right.
They're hard.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they stupid hard or just hard?
No, like you've always said, like you like to know these words because you may use them.
Well, yeah, words that are too abstract, I think, are a little
like what Tom fed me all last week.
Oh, was he mean to you?
Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
The Oil Understood is presented by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. So when was the McDavid news conference? Was that Wednesday?
Thursday.
It was when my cousins came.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. So, I mean, was there, what are people saying about what he said? I wrote it down somewhere.
Well, I mean, what didn't he say?
I had every intention to take so Rashog asked him about the extension. I had every intention to take my time with it. I still feel the same way. I have every intention to win in Edmonton. And then he said some Olympic stuff. And then he said, taking my time to go through it. And then Rashog kind of said, are you open to negotiations going into the season, or do you want to get something done before the season starts? McDavid said, I would say all options are on the table. We're going through it. I don't have a preference either way. I want the group to be as focused and dialed in and ready to roll as possible. We don't need any distractions. So that's what McDavid said in my voice.
Okay. This was a point originally brought up by Matthew Iwanek, our colleague. You know him? You remember him?
I remember Iwanuk, yes.
He said, and I thought this was very clever of him to pick out of that, was that he said, I don't want any distractions.
Yes.
Okay. Well, guess what? Coming into training camp unsigned would be a major distraction to the entire team, to the organization, to the coaching staff, hell, to the training staff. It would be a distraction. So if that's your MO, as Connor McDavid, is he's made it very clear he wants to win. Okay? Now he's also added to that he doesn't want this to be a distraction. Well, there's your answer. At least to me, that this will be done well ahead of training camp. Because Chris Johnston from TSN, also one of their insiders, suggested that he may not be re-signed heading into training camp from his various insiders.
Right.
But I just don't see how you can say that after Connor McDavid himself said exactly what you just said. Distractions. Well, get rid of the distractions. Get this extension done.
Okay, hypothetically, is it distracting though? If you're an Oiler player and you're going to practice on the morning of November 15th, is this in the back of your mind that he's not signed? I don't think so.
No, the noise would be distracting. The media attention
I guess people
that it would
asking
get.
about it or talking about it.
Every question would be about that.
Right.
Not about, hey, how's the power play? What changes are, the new staff going to make with the power play? Stuff like that, that they're actually going through in training camp. I don't think players would necessarily be, when's my buddy Connor going to sign? I'm not talking about that. Just the media attention it would draw way more. You'd have national media coverage every day at Rogers Place during training camp. Every day. No?
Well, I don't know if there'd be extra people sent to town for it, but...
Well, what's the question that everybody would ask? Hey, how's the extension coming along?
Yeah, but eventually it's just like when it's announced, it's announced. He would just say he's not going to talk about it daily, which he wouldn't.
But even as an organization, do you want to let that happen? Do you want this to seep into camp?
No, you'd prefer not to.
Right.
Yeah, you'd prefer to get it done. I mean, look,
the fan base has been surprisingly calm, I would say, given that your superstar is not extended already. And we had Dennis Bernstein on from the fourth period. He is shocked that this hasn't happened already. And by all accounts, what the general consensus I believe out there is that Connor McDavid's now back in Edmonton following the orientation camp for Team Canada. And now's the time they can sit down and really put this thing to bed. I mean, what do you think that negotiation sounds like? How much do you want? Okay. Right. We'll do it. How long do you want? Good suggestion. We'll take it.
Sure.
Like it's not rocket
science.
And
there aren't any details to this contract. I mean, it's the length of the contract and the money. There's not holiday negotiations or parking spaces or things like that, right? Like there's a standard player contract in the National Hockey League. I mean, I guess there could be, as we've talked about, some player like Leon. Leon already has the bulk of his money for this year, the first year of his deal, because he got it on July 1st as a signing bonus. So a lot of players get a lot of money on July 1st as opposed to getting the monthly paychecks throughout the season. So so maybe it could be down to that. I mean, to me, I think he wants to play with the Oilers. I don't know if it's going to be an 8-year deal. Maybe it'll be a 4 like some people are talking about.
What do you think of this? Sorry, Reid. I just got to get to it before it goes out of view here. Coyote Steve in the Nasty Chat says, Jay, 97 knows this team is not a cup contender, as is, so watch him play and see how the team plays. He holds all the cards. Didn't this team just go to the Stanley Cup final back-to-back years?
Well, I think Steve is saying this year's version of the team isn't a cup contender. That's how I read that.
So what's going to change for him? Are they going to go and make changes now to the roster? That's generally not how it works.
Probably not. No.
Probably. I mean, like every team does that's contending, come free agency, or the trade deadline. Yeah, probably going to make some additions.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what else you'd want to do. What's going to change? How are you going to play? Watch how this team performs.
I have a question for everybody, and I see some of the chat there, and we have some of the same pessimistic people over and over again saying the same things that they've said ever since this show started a year ago because they're not capable of any more creative or in-depth thought. But I'll have a question for those people. And I agree there are some question marks about the Oilers. And there are some players, some new players that there are questions and marks about, and some players that, need to play better than they did last season. If the Oilers aren't a cup contender, who in the Western Conference is obviously better than the Oilers? Like, obviously surpass them to the extent that you would say to yourself, the Oilers do not have a chance against them in a playoff series.
I don't know,
because I really want to know. I'm not saying that there aren't teams, but I really want to know. Because if you're saying the Oilers can't win the Stanley Cup, you're telling me that they can't obviously get out of their conference. Like there's no chance that they get out of their conference. So which teams in the West are? No, I guess we're talking on paper because we're coming out of the summer here. Which teams in the Western Conference are obviously better than the Oilers? Like right now, you're saying like no chance. That's a steamroll, right?
I don't know. Vegas, is that the one you can say? And that's still a wild card to see how that all comes together. But I mean, they did go out and get one of the biggest free agents in hockey. But is it a steamroll? Is it a guaranteed? Right. Oh, they can't. No,
right.
None. Reid. That's the thing. So at least right now, we'll see what happens in the regular season. But right now, how could you say that?
Right. Okay. So Ace, I'm going to ask you a question back, Ace, because you said, "Can this team beat the Panthers?" is the only question. That's fair. That's a really good point. But my question to Ace then is anybody a cup contender besides the Panthers? Because the way the Panthers finished the playoffs, basically from the middle of the Leafs series onward, they were pretty damn good. They beat the Leafs badly a couple times. They destroyed Carolina. And quite frankly, they beat the Oilers pretty decisively as that series went on.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So I guess my question would be is who, like if we're talking about cup contenders, I would usually list off 5 or 6 teams. Like if the Panthers are that good, then who else is a contender? Right?
Nobody. I don't think there can be contenders then. If you're using that
right
as, okay, the Stanley Cup champion is the only contender until somebody knocks them off.
Right.
Well, then there are no other contenders.
Right.
Everybody else is in Group B. Florida's in Group A.
Right.
That's, I mean, the only way I think I can explain that.
Okay.
Right? Which is fair.
Right.
There's nobody else that could win until you knock off the champion.
Right. I'm just trying to understand the logic here. Jode says Vegas. Vegas is a very good team. Vegas doesn't have Pietrangelo. They got Marner. Fair. Mm-hmm. They don't have Pietrangelo, so we can go plus minus there. Ace says the Avalanche. I agree the Avalanche are very good. But how can you not look at the Avalanche roster and find some holes as well? I'll say this to Ace, who is the number one Stuart Skinner fan of all, or hater of all, which is fine. And I've said Skinner underperformed last year given the standards I had. What makes Ace? I don't want to put words in your mouth, Ace, but I want to ask you a question because I know you're listening really carefully. What makes the Lumberyard that much better than Skinner and Pickard when it comes to the playoffs? So I don't have this is what I have trouble understanding sometimes. Okay? All the deficiencies of the Oilers that people point out, I actually agree with most, if not all of them, at least to an extent.
Sure.
But you have to then look at other teams' rosters that carefully as well. So who have I seen mentioned in the chat? The Avalanche and Vegas. So that's two teams in the Western Conference that people are telling me are better than the Oilers. Okay, fair enough. Maybe the Oilers can't beat those teams. But if you're still telling me the Oilers are better than 13 of the other 16 teams in the conference, they're still pretty good. Right?
Absolutely.
Is that not what I'm getting out of this from the people who I'm asking the question?
Well, that would suggest maybe the Oilers are contenders.
If you're the third, if we're the consensus we're getting is that the Oilers are the third best team in the Western Conference, then they're a pretty good team in the NHL.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we've ironed that out then.
Right, and it was the same goaltending duo that ended up taking them to get the Stanley Cup Finals.
Right.
Both played throughout the playoffs.
Right.
Contributed. Fair to say. Can't dispute that. Library Pat, and which team can fit McDavid into their cap? And which team gives him the chance to play with a player like Draisaitl? There aren't any. He's re-signing here.
Well, of course he's re-signing. We know he's re-signing. The length of the deal is the question. All right, we got to go into a break here. Here comes the Coop.
Bases are loaded for the Jays. Top of the first, they lead 1-0. George Springer with a home run for Toronto. Alejandro Kirk at bat, just one out so far in the inning. And three other games are live. Guardians and Red Sox runless, top of the first and bottom of the first. Dodgers and Pirates are locked at zeros, while the Mets have an early 1-0 lead over the Tigers. After that, it's the Marlins going at it against the Nationals. Well, the Mariners and Rays go head-to-head. Elsewhere, Carter O'Donnell is headed back to Edmonton with the former Golden Bear agreeing to terms with the Elks. A 26-year-old offensive lineman was most recently a part of the Cardinals, playing 5 games with the club in 2023. And according to Frank Saravalli, the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs will have a new salary cap system, all a part of the new collective bargaining agreement between the NHL and NHLPA. Saravalli reporting that the CBA will have some other changes as well. From Calgary, Dave Lowry has been hired as the assistant coach for the Flames. The Reid Wilkins Show continues once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
EST Hangout.
There are players, like the actual NFL players, that are good fantasy football players, but aren't great NFL players. There's different understanding of the game for each to a degree. That's a great And so point. It's like, I remember many years ago, Jameis Winston was one of the best quarterbacks you can play in fantasy football because he threw garbage time touchdowns. The guy would throw a crap ton of picks, but he got you points.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankards. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click?
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Do it. Oh, the song.
Gotta wait for the drop.
All right. If you are on YouTube, click the thumbs up button. We try to get to at least 100 thumbs every show. You can text us 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Happy hour featuring $5.25 drinks. Available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. Great to be back. I enjoyed my time off, but it's great to be back because I love working here. And so it's kind of, I guess officially it's a year. Tomorrow we started by the calendar, but really it's the Tuesday after Labor Day. That's kind of always going to be our anniversary day.
Happy 1 year.
Happy 1 year, baby. What's the 1 year thing? Paper? Here, have this.
That's so generous. Thoughtful.
I'm a very kind man. Very kind man.
Kirk hit a triple for the Blue Jays, sending 3 runners home. It is currently 4-0 for the Jays, 2 out in the first inning. Boding well for Jays play of the day if you chose to ride.
Maybe some people forgot to place the wager in time.
It's okay, bro.
Maybe that's what happened. Did you? I did find though, because I've said to you, well, everybody said, how was your? For the first anniversary gift, you have the traditional option of paper and a modern option of clocks. I should have got you a stopwatch.
Give me your watch.
Here, have this. Have this. What time is it? I did find that, especially last week when my cousins from Ontario, so they came on the 21st. Another cousin got married on the 23rd. Since the 21st, I was kind of not thinking about work, not checking in on the show, not as up to date, because you get in the mode of, okay, like I helped with the wedding. You have to help with the takedown on Sunday. My cousin visiting wanted to do something. I was driving them, but they did some of their own stuff. And my one of the cousins used to live here for 10 years, so he knew his way around a little bit or could take the bus. But there was a lot of, okay, this family thing is happening, and then I'm going here. So I was checked out a little bit last week from what was going on with the show and somewhat in the world of sports. So it was a bit of a mental break that way, but I didn't really have like a restful day until Sunday.
Yeah.
Really? Yes.
But that's okay.
But it was good.
That's good. You should be, off your mind off of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's for. Why you get away.
Yeah, that's why it was a bit of a staycation, so to speak.
Well, staycations are my favorite.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it was
not
good.
even close.
I had good time off. I mean, like I said, did the fringing, saw family stuff. Oh, I watched that Thunderbolts movie the other night.
Did you?
I quite enjoyed that.
What is it about?
It's a Marvel movie, so it's a superhero movie, and quite frankly, it's some lesser known heroes. But when they were making it, I was like, what are they doing? Like they're just running out of characters. But it got good reviews, and I watched it on Disney Plus, and I really enjoyed it. They did a good job with the characters. Florence Pugh is the star; she was really good. David Harbour from Stranger Things.
The one with Cena.
Cena is Peacemaker, those are DC characters, not Marvel.
Shoot.
And Peacemaker's not a movie; it's a series.
I was just testing you.
Right.
So it was good. Would my kids
really
like it? The what's it called?
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Is it about fuzzy furry animals?
No, it's about superheroes.
Oh. And do they throw thunderbolts?
No.
Oh boy, there's a hole in the story. Is that a working title?
The title of the movie changes by the end. There's a spoiler for you.
Really?
Yes.
So what does thunder have to do with the movie? Or bolts?
It's explained in the movie. why they called themselves the Thunderbolts.
Kelvin Van Dasselaar in the nasty
joke
chat.
name.
Reid, what was the sleeper at the Fringe?
I don't know enough.
One that you maybe had lower expectations for, but just blew your mind away. Probably the one you talked about, right?
Well, Chase Padgett was very good. I didn't expect to enjoy Final Girl as much as I did. It was a local production. I didn't read the bio on every actor. There were 5 or 6 actors in it. A lot of them were McEwen grads. But it was a musical, but it was a lot funnier and a lot more fun than I thought it would be, because it was kind of a spoof of slasher movies and a musical. So that was pretty. And the holdover that I saw on Saturday was Speed, a 1940s radio play. So they did Speed as a radio play set during the Second World War.
Speed like Keanu Reeves?
Yes, but you saw them acting things out and doing the sound effects. But part of the shtick was that people in the play were getting drafted into the war while the play was going on and had to leave.
I mean, it's not funny, but you know what I mean.
Orson Welles was there as the narrator, and he became increasingly inebriated during the course of the show. It was very funny. This was
did they speak in old timey voices? Radio
a
voices?
little bit, yes. And the guy
the
guy who was playing Keanu Reeves did a Keanu Reeves impression, but not an over the top one. Like when he first started doing it, I thought, is he doing a Keanu Reeves impression or not? And then a few minutes in, I was like, no, he's doing it. But he's not doing it so he just gets a big laugh the first time he does it, and then it's like, okay, now it's too much. Right. He did it in a way where he got a lot of little laughs throughout the show, which I appreciated.
Right. That's my Keanu Reeves.
Jodes, no, the Thunderbolt name in the movie does not come from Thunderbolt Ross. It comes from something else. I know what you're talking about, but that's not what it comes from. Jasmine says Black Widow was way better than I thought. A solid 3 out of 5. The Black Widow movie was okay. I don't know what that one means, so I'm not going to read it.
So is cap compliance now
start of the year?
Starting now.
Training camp.
Can't do this.
Start first day of the season.
Can't do this thing where you pull the rabbit out of the hat.
playoff stuff.
Right. But you can't have somebody sit on injured reserve till after the trade deadline, then pull them out and have them playing for playoffs? Or is that...
Well, in the playoffs, you could be over the cap. But now you'll have to respect the cap at all times. Right. So what? But didn't they just say it's just your roster for that game? Your total roster can be over the cap. Isn't that the new rule? But the roster you dress for the game?
I think, wasn't Sarah Valley reporting on that earlier today?
Yes.
That it's happening this year?
Instead of next year. Here it is. I just want to check the details of it, though. They bump up the implementation of the playoff salary cap for the 2026 postseason. Hang on. The new rule requires playoff teams to dress a lineup of players whose salaries combined do not surpass the cap for each playoff game. Players who are injured or healthy scratches do not count against the playoff cap. So during the season, your roster has to be under the cap, including the scratched guys. Okay?
Okay.
So you could be $10 million over the... So you could have 2 $10 million players. And if you dress both of them, you're $15 million or you're $10 million over the cap. So you could dress one of them and scratch the other one and then flip them out for the next game.
That's a pretty big deal.
Right. So it is a change. It's not exactly the same rule as the cap in the regular season. Right.
But it's still, you couldn't have Matthew Tkachuk come out and join the team without taking somebody that's equal or taking, pay off of your roster, your game night roster, and scratching them.
Right.
I think that's a pretty big deal.
So it's your game roster has to be under the cap, not your entire roster.
I think that's what most NHL fans would want.
Well, and a lot of times the guys who are scratched in the regular season are your fourth liners who are making $1 million. Right. So that's the rule. All right. We'll get to Fired Up for Gemco. Remember, you can text 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox presented by River Crew Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. Sundays and Mondays, 50% off the entire menu. Available Sundays and Mondays, 5 p.m. until close. Here comes the Coop.
Two guys and a goalie.
Edmonton, if they would have had the ability this season, say they don't win the Stanley Cup, if they only had the ability to manipulate the cap, they would have won. No one, or at least we shouldn't be having those conversations.
Adrian, you want to hit on it?
I love it. It's about time. I think the league doesn't want another instance where they have star player sit out the last few months of the season.
Two guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
With Johnson, whoa.
Looking for a smart alternative to heating and cooling your home? Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson, your cold climate heat pump specialists. We'll explain how Trane heat pumps offer a reliable, cost-effective heating and cooling solution. Order your Trane heat pump now and take advantage of the Canada Greener Homes Loan Initiative. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. From the most experienced HVAC company around, family owned and operated for nearly 50 years.
Visit weiss-johnson.com.
Back to school? Really?
Yay! Really? As things settle back into a routine in your home, you may need extra space. Sentinel Storage is here to help with a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
The Jays are rolling hot, up 4-1 on the Reds, bottom of the first inning. George Springer with a home run and Alejandro Kirk hitting a triple play with bases loaded for the Jays. Right now, the Reds have one out, Jose Barrios on the mound, and a runner on first base. And 4 other games are live. Pirates up 4-0 on the Dodgers entering the second, while the Tigers have a 2-1 lead on the Mets, top of the second. And earlier, the Elks have agreed to terms with former NFL offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell, with the 26-year-old seeing 5 games with the Cardinals in 2023. The former Golden Bear was drafted 20th overall by the Alouettes in the 2020 CFL draft. And with just 1 week left in the regular season, Indiana star Caitlin Clark has not yet been cleared for contact drills in practice. She's been out since August 7th after getting a bone bruise on her left ankle. Indiana meets Phoenix at 8 o'clock. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon. A reminder, 6:04?
On the dot.
6:04 tomorrow morning, the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric debuts on 95.7 Cruise FM. Just a reminder.
Thank you.
The morning show will be on Cruise FM.
I can't wait.
On old-fashioned traditional radio.
You
ready to go?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready.
6-9. 6:04 to 9.
Can I give you something that came in on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox?
Please do.
By the way, you can reach us at 780-218-9999.
Yes, you can.
Reid, this comes in from Grumpy Cat.
Hello, Grumpy Cat.
Should I watch Black Widow before Thunderbolts?
I don't remember Black Widow well. Yeah, probably. Yeah, because it introduces the Red Guardian. Yes.
Yes. It's a hard yes.
That was you thought that was that funny?
No.
Okay.
Just seeing where you go here.
Yes, watch Black Widow before Thunderbolts.
Okay, great.
And then watch Fantastic Four as well. Fantastic Four was good.
You really were high on that.
Yeah, I liked Fantastic Four a lot. I thought it was very well done. It had emotional resonance.
Well, you said it was like a family vibe. Like it had a good story.
Yeah, it had a good story about them and pulling together, and the villain was good, and there was just some good. And at the end, like everything kind of came together and it paid off. I thought it was very good. All right, you can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You got Bronco Nick's limerick?
Yeah, want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Coob. Elks offense stunk like a baked Brussels sprout. The Elks defense held them in and stopped a rout. They signed someone tall to help seal the wall and have a puncher's chance in the next bout. Well done.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Got any more?
I think we're caught up.
Caught up on the limericks today. Excellent stuff. All right. So the Elks have signed Carter O'Donnell, big offensive lineman, been in the NFL the last few years. He was originally drafted in the CFL by Montreal in 2020. His rights were traded to the Elks in 2022. So this is an area that the Elks need improvement on the offensive line. Now, what did they say? He still has to clear the medicals and the physicals, but they announced the signing. We might be able to get him on the show tomorrow, and then we'll find out if he's going to be able to play on the weekend. But as I was talking about, there's still an opportunity for the Elks to be in the playoffs.
Yes.
They do not have a good record. They are last in their division. They have very little room for error, but I will stick with what I said earlier in the summer. After 7 games, I said they need to win 4 of their next 5. They have played 4 of those 5 games. They have won 3 of them. I consider it a must win on Saturday. If they get to 5-7, at least they make the final third of the season interesting. The odds will still be against them because they don't have the tiebreak on BC, and they would still be behind Winnipeg in the standings, either by a game or 2, even if they upset Calgary on Saturday, which I think is going to be very difficult. But O'Donnell addresses an area of weakness. He should be a good CFL player, but some things got to change here. And is Calgary the best team in the league, even though they don't have the best record? Well, they're right up there with Saskatchewan.
I would say it's a toss-up. You cannot not put Saskatchewan in the conversation. Right?
True.
I mean, they're playing good. So the remaining schedule for the Elks. They host the Stamps.
Mm-hmm.
They're at Toronto,
who they've beaten.
They host, they host Hamilton.
No, they go to Hamilton.
They go to Hamilton.
Yeah.
They host Saskatchewan. They host Winnipeg. They go to BC, and they host the Stampeders.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how
tough.
this plays out, right? Because that last game against Calgary could mean a lot, depending how the rest of the season goes. And it could mean very little for the Stampeders as well.
Yes.
So something. But yeah, this schedule, I mean, they just went through the easiest part of the schedule.
Yeah.
The schedule gets quite hard to finish off the season.
Well, Toronto's beatable, but still dangerous. Hamilton, I feel like Hamilton's now entered that category where you're not sure what you're going to get week to week, even though, they still look pretty. They did win 5 in a row, but they're 6-5. So they have the same record Winnipeg does. But again, all those Western teams, the Elks have not beat a Western team this year.
Yeah, not good.
So, I mean, you can't make the playoffs in your own division if you don't win in your own division.
That's a fair point.
Calgary's 8-3, Saskatchewan's 9-2. Saskatchewan's 2 losses have been against Calgary. Calgary lost to Ottawa once in a bad weather game and once when they didn't have Vernon Adams. And their other loss was a home game against Montreal. And I don't think Adams got hurt during that game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, they seem quite dangerous.
But those 2 teams have emerged, I think, is like I used to have Montreal up there. Now they have run into some injury trouble.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them healthy again.
Well, Hamilton
but they haven't been winning lately.
Was there, but they're proving to be a bit inconsistent. I mean, let's face it, Edmonton should have beat them at home. They just got beat on Labor Day at home by Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of similar. I would put Hamilton in the same vein as BC. I don't know what team's going to show up on any given day or whether they can finish the job.
But I still feel as if I still feel you're more optimistic about the Elks on Saturday than I am.
That's me in general. So consider it a fault in some instances. But I mean, when you look at the numbers, when you look at the stats from that game, it was not glaringly one-sided. Other than special teams and turnovers.
Right.
Well, you look at the facets of the game. That's a great football term. Oh, let's look at the 3 facets of this game.
Sure.
Special teams, lost.
Yeah.
Offense, lost. Defense, I said maybe a push or maybe a slight win. But that's not a winning formula. And you're -2 in the turnover ratio. That just compounds that. But time of possession and the run game, I mean, that would be the one, I guess, tick against the BC or against the defense.
Sure.
Was that Calgary was successful in the run game.
I think the injuries are mounting here for the Elks, and I think Calgary is very, very good. So I think they're going to be big, big underdogs on Saturday. Now, I know Fajardo's played really well at times. Rankin is a weapon. Like if you're another team, you have to game plan to try to stop Rankin. But I just think Calgary is doing an excellent job, and we're seeing this come up more and more, Jay, as the season progresses. Both Alberta teams stunk last year. Edmonton, in fact, finished ahead of Calgary, and Calgary revamped their roster. And I also want to say this. Now, again, when I bring this up, I'm not saying that, and Jay and I talked about it at length earlier. There are certainly areas of the coaching that can be criticized for the Elks.
Sure.
Like absolutely. And you're right. These are all relatively young and inexperienced coaches. Like Maksimic has been an OC before, but he's still relatively young. Killam's never been a head coach before. Sherritt's never been a DC before. And somebody wrote that to me yesterday as well, that Hervey's paying the price for going with an inexperienced coaching staff. We can debate that. That's a fair conversation point. But what I'm saying about, just saying, well, it's just coaching. There were people, including people who cover the Calgary Stampeders, who at the end of last season were convinced Dave Dickinson couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
So what did Calgary do? They went out and got more talented players. And now, right? And now they're really, really good.
Dave Dickinson look really good.
Dustin was sitting there with us going over the Stamps D line. They're getting pressure with 3 people.
Yeah.
The Elks generally don't get pressure with 4. Sometimes even with 5 if they send somebody else.
That's true.
So, the Calgary just did a better job in the offseason. So I think Ed's got to do a better job. I think the coaches have to continue to learn in their roles as well. And then I also think there are some players who have to do a better job too. So to me, it's everything for the Elks. I don't think, well, should have hired a different coach, should have hired a different coordinator. Okay, well, that doesn't make Curly Gittins Jr. run faster necessarily. Or it doesn't make, there's a few things going on here.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's really put this all into one simple question. Mark Killam.
Right.
Has he met or exceeded your expectations of him as a first-year CFL head coach? Or the other way?
I think I would say met. I wouldn't say exceeded.
Okay.
And I don't think he's done a poor job. I mean, what have we stressed? Well, okay, what has the organization stressed with Morris, Hervey, Killam?
Culture.
Get back to the way it used to be.
Yep.
You know, and quite frankly, again, we got to go back a long way because, you know, this hasn't been a dominant franchise for about 20 years, right? I mean, they had the little burst under Riley. Let's get it back to the way it used to be. So I think Killam has been focused. I think he's had good energy. I know somebody was saying today that they actually think maybe he's a little too much. I don't know. But I think the effort and the intensity is there.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're not making mistakes or getting beat sometimes.
Sure. And do you think Ed Hervey would reconsider some of those signings?
Oh, for sure. Or at least the money he gave to people.
Do you think he'd
Sure.
reconsider making Robbie Smith the highest paid defensive player? Yeah,
Exactly.
he probably would. But that's the group he thought was going to turn this team around. Much like the people they brought in Calgary, it just worked better in Calgary. But what you're saying is, okay, so they're building a bit of a stable ground here to build on. That's part of the process, which we alluded to. Taylor Inglis, played professionally for 11 seasons, won a Grey Cup with this team, knows how that works.
Right.
It doesn't happen overnight. So maybe that's why my optimism doesn't always really is not congruent with the actual team right now.
Right.
But I think part of me is that I'm seeing the right things happen in the right places and confident that this team is turning the corner. It just might take a little bit longer for them to finally turn it around, which I'm okay with. As long as things are trending positive, I think any Elks fan would be okay with that, given what, I don't know, the last 7 seasons have been like, right?
All right, 780-218-9999 is how you can chime in. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox for texting the show. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. You can also post you got to love the nasty chat going on YouTube. I haven't seen all of it, but there's been some discussion about pyramids, who built the pyramids, and aliens. It's too bad I'm not hosting the show. Otherwise, I'd be right in there a little bit more. I hope those people were listening when we had Nick Pope on in February, the UFO specialist. Remember that?
Oh, that was special.
Yeah, he was good.
We should check in with him.
We should have him on once a year. Just what's going on with UFOs today? We're going to call now the other word for them, UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, as opposed to unidentified flying objects.
That's
because it might not be a flying object.
Could be a drone. Could be a what do they call those bugs that glow in the night?
Lightning bugs? Fireflies. Yeah, lightning bugs.
Lightning bolts.
All right. What else? I got to text my cousin when we're doing words of the day. Oh, we're going to get fired up when we get back as well. All right, here we go.
Five games are live in the majors. Jays up 5-1 on the Reds. Alejandro Kirk with a triple play. George Springer with a home run. And just moments ago, in the top of the second, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. singled out a ground ball to right field to get an RBI. Around the league, Dodgers are down 4-0 to the Pirates top of the second, while the Nationals have a 1-0 hold on the Marlins bottom of the second. Mariners and Rays are also just about to get underway. Braves and Cubs also warming up. Well, back in E-Town, the Elks have agreed to contract with 26-year-old offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell. He suited up in 5 games for the Cardinals in 2023, also spending 4 seasons with the Golden Bears under Chris Morris. On the court, there's 2 WNBA games. New York visits Golden State, while the Fever and Mercury clash at 8 o'clock. The Reid Wilkins Show continues on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date
The Oil Stream.
Andrew Mangiapane, total points this upcoming season, over under 39.5.
I'll take over 39.
What do you think he ends up with?
44.
I'll go under 37, but you're still satisfied with him. Brings a lot to the table, refines his game a little bit.
Plays more.
Plays good in the playoffs. And then next year has a better year. What say you?
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
It's wing showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn goes head-to-head with Mexican chili lime. Two bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Grab them anytime, or just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
World-renowned top psychic medium and the star of Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser comes to River Cree Resort and Casino on September 12th and 13th for a couple of special live shows. Join Matt for 2 nights of healing, hope, and laughter. Matt has become a trusted figure for people seeking closure, guidance, and connection with their loved ones. Don't miss Matt Fraser live at River Cree Resort and Casino September 12th and 13th. Both shows are 18 plus. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
September is here. Although summer's entering the 7th inning stretch, the Jays are in full swing. Be ready for the baseball playoffs, and when the fall season arrives, create space with Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Thanks for chatting about the pyramids and aliens. Pretty good stuff. I could do a whole other show on that, but I couldn't. I don't know that much about it. I just know there's little tidbits of stuff I will read, and
let's get fired up about aliens.
I do remember this once. Okay, I'll just say this because I can't remember where I saw this, and I obviously was not prepared. I was going to talk about this today. But there's a theory that some of these unidentified aerial phenomena could be some sort of drones or probes or flying objects left behind by ancient human civilizations. And they still have some sort of power source, and they, were pre-programmed to go fly every so often. And they're still because a lot of them I think are seen coming out of the water or in areas like that. And then, I've seen, well, what about, wouldn't there be evidence of these? And apparently there wouldn't be. That, as time progresses and buildings and bones and stuff decay, there could have been civilizations that had cities and technology, and there really wouldn't be, they would just be reduced to a thin band in the dust. And then I've also, and the person who wrote this said, and I think this is kind of common knowledge, if you look at the number of dinosaur bones that actually have been discovered, hardly any have been discovered at all. The percentage of dinosaur bones that have been discovered relative to the millions of dinosaurs that would have worked, or billions of dinosaurs that would have walked the earth, it's an incredibly small percentage. So they're saying there could have been, some civilization that had technology, maybe not the kind we have, but that maybe that these things aren't extraterrestrial. They're left behind from somewhere. Now, who knows?
Maybe they just got to dig deeper.
Just keep digging. Dig
Find
to
a
the
hole
center
and
of
dig.
the earth.
I got sucked into a rabbit hole on this show. That was about
this show?
No. It was a show I was watching where these farmers who live in the belt, the Badlands belt, are discovering bones on their properties.
Right in Alberta.
I think it's northern U.S. I don't know if it's in Alberta, but they're now transitioning from farming to doing full-time excavation.
No way.
Yes, because it's quite profitable to turn it, because they, we have a drought. We can't make a crop happen. Well, let's go dig up some bones. It was fascinating. But I like that stuff. I like dinosaurs.
Well, there are a lot of things that are just mysterious and will likely remain mysterious for the course of our lifetime.
Buried.
Never to be like berries themselves.
Well, berries are on
where did I bury the Swedish berries?
In your mouth.
Well, we got to get a team. We got to get an excavation. So Ace is in.
Yeah,
we already know Ace is in.
Where do you want to excavate? Right out here on the green spot? See what we can find?
We'll start here.
Okay. I've got a shovel.
We'll get a shovel.
We need a flashlight.
Ace probably has a shovel. So we got 3 people.
We need one of those.
Ace, I'm volunteering you.
We need one of those little brushes that can sweep off any particulate.
I'm going to bring like my basting brush.
We'll need some Ziploc bags.
Need
and
some
a Sharpie
Ziploc bags, yes.
To properly...
Right. I'm sure that, supersized Indiana Jones has to be in. So we got a team of 4. How many more do we need?
I think,
and then once we build from there, we're fine.
I think we'd be mistaken if we didn't make supersized Indiana Jones the team lead,
the excavation leader.
Yeah,
remember that shot in Raiders of the Lost Ark when the sun's going down and you see them in silhouette and Indiana's kind of pacing because the other guys are digging.
That'll be us on 107th Ave at about 7:30 p.m.
Ace also has trouble digging. Says he's got a bit of a sore. All right, so Jay and I will dig.
Okay, I'm strong. I'll dig.
Supersized Indiana Jones will be the leader.
Ace will then discern what we've pulled
Ace
up.
He can put the stuff in the. He can brush it and put it in the bags.
Put it in the bags. Yes.
He can put it and label it.
As long as his penmanship is good. Because you would want to make sure you're sorting these and labeling them properly.
Yes. Well, we could get him a label maker.
Oh, hello. Yeah. It's okay. You and I are on the dig.
That's the team. We dig. Maybe some questionable endurance there.
Oh no! Between you and I,
we'll dig. Ace bags and labels.
You know what else?
And dusts. So no, that's the wrong order. Ace dusts,
packages,
bags, and labels. Well, I guess he could label the bag before he put the thing in the bag.
I don't think that's how you. Well, maybe you have to, so as to preserve the integrity of the sample. Pitchfork. We need a pitchfork.
Norm in a combine has to bring the pitchfork.
Of course.
We've nominated Norm. I don't even know if he's listening today.
Of course.
There we go. We have our team to do it. Team of 5.
Yeah.
Big enough team. It gets unwieldy if there's too many people.
Well, you can't have too many, what do they say? Foxes in the hen house?
Cooks in the kitchen.
Cooks in the kitchen,
sorry.
I
think that might be more appropriate. Oh, my God.
I'm excited. Do we have to get city permission?
Edmonton Sports Talk, of course.
We probably need to call before you dig.
That's true.
This is true.
Well, the Big Uke could do that. The supersized Indiana Jones.
Well,
As
he
the
is
leader,
the lead.
he has to organize some of those details.
Yes.
All right.
We're on to something.
We are presented by Play Alberta. It's time to turn up the fun with the all-new Play Alberta app, your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery instants, and, of course, sports betting. All right. That's some fun stuff on the show today. Oh, we're going to get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. You know what? I'm feeling a good energy. I had my time off. My time off was great. A lot of family-oriented stuff. Saw my fringe shows, and I'm fired up. Like, it's September. We're getting into the final third of the CFL season. Mm-hmm. That's a fun stretch. The NFL kicks off on Thursday. We got to do our picks. Let's throw darts at a board blindfolded for that. And the Blue Jays, obviously, what are they up now? 8-1, 9-1?
8-2.
8-2 now. So they're very likely going to be in the playoffs, right? Unless they don't win a game the entire month. We got U Sports starting up. Did you go to the Bears on Friday, by the way? I didn't even ask. They lost 29-20 to the Huskies.
My daughter had a basketball ID camp.
Right.
So I took her to that. Well, I went straight from work to pick her up from that. And then I went home and watched it on CanadaWest.tv.
Right.
And Reid, that's my fired up. So I'll let you finish yours.
Well, I'm also...
But we might need to revisit
and here's the thing. Like, sometimes I ask the listeners questions, or I challenge them.
Yes.
And I know sometimes they get mad at me for doing that because I can be a little mouthy, but that's just me. But this is not something like that. This is a challenge that you have to hold me to. Okay? All the nasties and all the people tuning in. I want to pay closer attention to the process of players vying for the Canadian Olympic team. Because you and I kind of brushed off, laughed off the Four Nations face-off.
Poo-pooed.
And then once it started, it was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And then McDavid got the tournament-winning goal. So I want to be more involved with who are the candidates. How's Hyman playing? How is Bouchard playing? How is Scheifele playing? How is Suzuki going to crack the roster? Is Mark Stone, like whatever. I want to pay more attention to the candidates, and I'm fired up for that. And really, I guess maybe because I saw that Hyman interview, but like I'm excited of the prospect of Hyman being on the team because I think Nuge is a very long shot to be on the team, given what the team has at forwards and some of the strengths that those players have.
Sure.
We know about Bouchard, the strengths and weaknesses there, and there might be some players who are better all around, even if they are better offensively. So I still maybe say he might be a longer shot. But like Hyman is such a reliable, hardworking player. He's a big storyline for me. And how is the wrist going to be? Is he going to start the season slow? Because if he doesn't start last season slowly and he was injured a bit early in the season too, he probably would have been on the Olympic team and probably would have got to play on McDavid's line because that's where they play anyway, or that's where he plays anyway most of the time.
The Four Nations face-off, you mean?
For the Four Nations face-off last year. So I think of all the orders, he's got the best chance.
And do you think Hyman is that one, and I see a name, like Quentin Byfield, right? Is that a guy that's another guy?
That's an interesting one, yeah.
Right? That's just that guy that you want on your team when you're playing the Americans.
Like, can Celebrini make it? Can Bedard make it? There's going to be some fun names to follow.
You got to have the guys that can finish, the guys that can put up, but you also have to have the grit, the Canadian hockey grit. And it'd be interesting to see. I think it's easier to say who the guys are going to be, the offensive guys. It's harder to say how you're going to pick from all these players of who's going to be the sandpaper on that team. Because that's ultimately the guys that, make the biggest noise, I think, in those, tournaments like that.
Right.
So that'll be very interesting to watch for sure. And that list, man, that list of players that were at that orientation camp.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
What's yours fired up?
Refs.
Oh, my God.
Refs.
Now what?
Wow, jeez. I was watching the Bears game. They were the Saskatchewan is the number one team in Canada West by a mile, according to the preseason coaches poll.
Okay.
The Bears were last. Okay. Bears have a young team, but the Bears were in that game. It was a 1-point game, I believe, if I'm remembering it correctly. And the Bears were taking care of business. 2 plays on one drive. Very questionable calls. One so questionable, Reid, I had to rewind it on Canada West TV because I was watching on my laptop because my daughters were watching the search for Bigfoot. That's
another story.
That's another one.
That's another thing we got to find after we dig up the ancient civilization.
And I didn't want to disturb them. So I'm watching it on my laptop. I had to rewind it and I videoed it and I put it out because it was so egregious.
Well, I didn't even see it.
It was awful. I tweeted it out.
Okay.
It was a terrible, terrible call. And here's the thing. I'm just going to say it. I've played football in this community long enough to be able to say this and know this without a doubt. When you as a team from Edmonton, whether it be the Wildcats, the Huskies, the Golden Bears, when you go to Saskatchewan, you are expecting that you're going to be on the wrong end of 1 or 2 Saskatchewan calls.
Right.
That's a given. You know that's going to happen. But you know what happens here time and time again. These officials...
They called that pass interference.
Yeah, and that was a 2nd and long. Guess what happened on the next play?
Touchdown?
Touchdown.
So it was 22-20 Huskies when this happened.
Yeah.
That's not pass interference because
the receiver initiated the contact.
By the receiver, right.
Just a bogus call. But here's the thing. For whatever reason, the officials in Edmonton feel so inclined to be even, which I respect. Okay, you don't want to be homers. Cool. But guess what? It's happening everywhere else.
Right.
But aside from that, okay, that they go the opposite way to try to be so not homer that they're actually penalizing the teams that are from here, the teams that they ref. It's happened Dave in Section T, he was on the EST Labor Day bus yesterday. Played Bears football. He's been around football in this community as a coach out at Ardrossan. Like, he knows football here.
Right.
He said the same thing. Why is that? Why is that you penalize the teams that are from here? It is so blatant. And the calls, that was the second call like that on the same drive, Reid. That extended this drive in the fourth quarter.
That was a bad call. We did ref week. We've had refs on the show, and they all said something. Now, all the refs we interviewed were at a higher level than that, and they did say they were mistakes. That's a pretty bad call.
But the same official from the back threw the flags on both plays. Like, if you don't know it is a blatant PI at that point in the game, don't call it. Just don't. Keep your flag in your damn pocket.
There was no hold or anything
Nothing.
like that. It was just
If anything, that was offensive pass interference.
If anything, it really should have been nothing.
So that fired me up. That just ticked me off.
Buddy.
Thanks, Reid.
I'm sorry,
too, because the poor Bears were in that game. They get the ball back. Who knows what they can do with it? Ugh. Refs.
We're in the banquet studio every Monday. Bowl for just $2 all day at the banquet bar. Walk in, grab your friends, and start your week with some fun. Get real, play hard. The banquet. Bears in Regina on Friday, I believe. Bears Hog. And we'll be talking youth sports, of course. Golden Bears and Pandas throughout the course of the fall and the winter. I'm going to be interested to see how Canada West hockey looks, because players. The Bears lost 7 or 8 guys to the NCAA. So that's going to change their recruiting. There's two ways to look at it. Because somebody said to me, okay, if all the top players who could have gone to Canada West go to the NCAA, it's still an even. Yeah. It's still even in Canada West.
Still best on best.
Still
some of the
best on best at that
south
level.
of the border.
But I would think it would hurt the schools like Alberta and Saskatchewan. Calgary has been good. UBC has surged lately under Sven Butenschon. I still think it would hurt the players who were getting the best players the most.
Yes.
It would bring them down to earth a little bit.
Sure. Maybe not, though. Maybe it all settles out and it's still the same, that the top 5% are still going to those 2 schools. The rest even out the other schools.
Yeah, maybe.
Norman at Combine has said he's in.
He's in.
He does have a small wire brush.
For Ace,
cleaning the bones.
I think Ace checked out here. He usually says goodbye in the chat.
He also says he has a pitchfork.
Yeah, but that's really what we need from him is the pitchfork.
Okay.
Yes, and he's got to be the pitchfork worker. The pitchforker.
Pitchforker.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The team is assembled. I want to know when we start the
team is I think we can start it whenever we can get anybody here.
We need to get Team Tilly hats.
We need to get everybody. It's gonna be incredible. Imagine if we found an ancient civilization right in our yard here.
The odds are on our side.
Yeah. You think so, eh? I think the odds are on our side.
I can feel it, Reid.
Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Let's see if we can get over 100. Oh, hang on.
You click. Please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb.
All right. Perfect.
Wow. 8-6 now for the Jays.
What inning are we in? Reds are catching up.
Third.
It's still the third inning. I guess it just started an hour ago. That makes sense.
There you go.
All right. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Words of the day coming up. My cousin James, who was visiting from Ontario and tunes into the show. So when the show in Ontario is on from 5 to 8. So he'll often put it on when he gets home from work. He gave Jay words to give me. I have no idea what they are, so that's going to be exciting. Here's Coob with the final sports update.
Entering the third inning, Toronto holds Cincinnati 8-6. George Springer with a home run and Alejandro Kirk with the triple run play in the game. Elsewhere, 3 games are in the top of the fourth inning. The Nationals lead the Marlins 3-0. And we also see the Guardians down 5-1 while the Mets trail the Tigers 2-1. And back in E-Town, the Elks agreed to a contract with 26-year-old offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell. He suited up in 5 games for the Cardinals in 2023, also spending 4 years with the Golden Bears under Chris Morris. On the court, there's 2 WNBA games. New York visits Golden State while the Fever and Mercury clash at 8 o'clock. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break.
EST Afternoons.
Jim Rainey, F1 IndyCar Insider. The Red Bull second seat might be a curse seat, as everybody that's been through it. For you, Tim, where would you go with that second seat?
I don't know if I would bring Hajar up just yet. I think I would probably wait, and I would wait till 2027. What I would probably do is keep Sonoda and take Arvid Lindblad. I'd make him the reserve driver for both teams.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
All right, thanks, Coop. So now you already have a word of the day for tomorrow. 1, you got 2 today for my cousin. He gave them to you Wednesday. He slipped them to you. It's like he was slipping you at 20 there. So we're going to get to those in about 5 minutes. Who sent in today the other word?
Ride in the Pine.
Ride in the Pine in the nasty chat. Do we know Ride in the Pine?
I'm sure. Maybe. I think.
I can't remember everybody I've met because of this job over the past year.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Well, a lot of people don't. Well, sometimes, too, there'll be someone in the nasty chat or who texts in under their audience member name, and then they'll come up and meet you in person. Hey, Reid. Oh, hey, what's your name? Oh, Jerry.
Right.
Oh, hey, Jerry. Oh, no, you know me.
No, I always say, what's your handle?
Yeah, I guess I should start saying that.
Right.
What's your handle?
And I must say, it was terrible timing when Andrea from Calgary came over to our section because they had just run back that punt return touchdown.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was great to meet her, though. Very well done.
All right, 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Carter O'Donnell signed with the Elks today. Big offensive lineman. 6'5", 313 pounds. Okay, so do you think he's going to play guard or tackle? Right now, if you had to guess.
Tackle.
He plays tackle.
And then if
you were running the offense.
Yeah, I would move Boyko into guard.
Okay. So this is on the right side.
Yes.
Because the right side has also been exploited more than the left side, shall we say?
Yep.
Though there's been problems all over at times.
Fair to say.
Okay, so here's another question for you about the play calling. Because you've said to Maximic, like, don't use this formation. Are there plays that can be designed to get the ball off quicker?
Yes.
So the O-line doesn't have to block as long?
I was just going to say that.
But does the defense figure that out after a while? That's what they're doing.
Well, but then when they're starting to figure it out is when you can then extend and push the ball downfield. It's a game of cat and mouse, but you need to be a part of the game.
Right.
They zig, you zag.
But
They thunder, you lightning.
There have been times when the play calling has worked, like they've done a little misdirection or that jet sweep or things like that.
Yeah, not in that formation.
Oh,
like that formation.
The one you don't like. Okay.
Well, we'll go over it because I've never seen him lead something up like a pulling guard or a pulling with him pulling and a backside tackle pulling or something creative like that to surprise the defense and overload them and overmatch them.
Well, they're going to have to pull everything out of the hat on Saturday, especially.
So you said must win, not.
I think it's a must win. I think if the Elks lose on Saturday, it will be impossible for them to make the playoffs. Now they won't be mathematically eliminated.
Okay, so it's got to have.
And that's what Rob Brown taught me about must win, is that you should never call it a must win until a team is eliminated from playoff contention.
Fair.
So either making the playoffs or eliminated in a series or a single elimination game.
So is it a got to have it or can't lose?
So it's both. It's everything. It's an everything. No, but if the Elks go to 4-8, what's the path to the postseason? Going undefeated. Then they're not good enough.
Yeah, it's tough.
We're going 5-1. Now, being 5-7 is not that much better than 4-8, but the math is a little better. But let's face it, at this point, it's already they are a long shot to make the playoffs.
True.
It would be less of a long shot if Winnipeg had one less win, if they were at 5.
Well, Winnipeg's got Saskatchewan again.
Here's the thing. If you're an Elks fan, you have to do a couple of things that are against how you've been raised. You have to cheer for Saskatchewan and Calgary to win every game they play, especially if they're playing a Western team. Well, really, you have to cheer against Winnipeg and BC all the time. Though you don't want Toronto and Ottawa to win too much. Again, this isn't great. But at least at 5-7, there's at least a shot. At least there's a discernible path over the final 6 games.
Yep.
At 4-8, that path is really, really grown over.
Agreed. And this would fall into your 4 out of 5 prediction.
Well, it wasn't predicting it. I was saying it was necessary. I 4 games ago, when the Elks were 1-6, I said they had to win 4 of their next 5.
Yeah.
To have a shot at the playoffs. Not to make the playoffs, to have a shot at the playoffs. If they upset Calgary on Saturday, they will have done that, and I will say they will have a shot at the playoffs.
That's fair, but it's a huge task.
All right, let's do it.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
You ready for this, Reid?
Yes. These words were provided by my cousin James, who is back now in Waterloo, Ontario, but was visiting last week.
Hi, James. Thanks for the words. I had to look up the pronunciation.
Oh my!
Just to be sure.
I'm not getting these.
TBD, bro. First word: tintinabulation. Tintinabulation.
Tintinabulation. I feel as if that's not that hard to spell.
It's okay
to be close to it.
Can I help you?
But I don't. Sure.
It's not. But there is one letter repeated.
Okay, so that was my question.
Yeah.
T-I-N.
Because I know what you're thinking.
T-I-N.
Yep.
T-I-N-N-A-B-U-L-A-T-I-O-N. And that was my question. That's what I was debating, was there a second N in the second tin? So you kind of gave me a hint there.
So I'll knock off point 2.
Okay.
So you're 0.8 out of 1.
And I got to get the definition of this. Does it have to do with sound or audio? Tintinabulation. Now I'm trying to analyze this because James is big into music. He plays accordion. He plays piano. Tintinabulation. Does this have to do with the sound of a specific instrument? Is it music related? It is music related. But I don't know exactly. You better give me a sentence. I should get at least 0.2 already.
You're on the right path. You were very close. So does it have
to do with the figuring out the exact tone of an instrument.
No.
Okay.
Here's the sentence. The merry tintinnabulation of church bells.
It's a chiming noise. It's a chiming noise. It's a noise made by bells. Wow.
So you were 1.8 out of 1 on the spelling. You were 1.5 out of 2. So you're 3.3 out of 4.
No, I'm not. I'm 1.3 out of 2.
Only
done one word.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
1.3
okay.
out of 2.
It's amazing. It's really amazing how exact we can break it down. Our scoring system is so refined.
Well, I want you can mail the score sheet to James.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That's a good word.
Very good word. Second word. Obsequious. Obsequious.
Oh, I should know this. OBSEQUIOUS.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew how to spell it. I should know what this word means. Crap. This is not that difficult a word. Does it? Oh, I'm going to take a guess, but I'm probably going to embarrass myself. Does it sort of mean like mysterious and hidden, almost in like a dishonest sort of way?
Would you like me to use it in a sentence?
Yes, I would.
She's constantly followed by obsequious assistants who will do anything she tells them to do.
Oh.
She's constantly followed by
like
obsequious...
deferential and obedient? Subservient? What is it exactly?
The the definition that James gave me, which is very similar to what it is on Merriam-Webster.com, is obedient or attentive to an excessive or servile degree.
Right, okay, so I kind of said that.
So 1.5 out of 2 on that. So that's a 2.8 out of 4.
2.8 out of 4. What percentage is that?
Well,
68? What's 2.8 divided by 4? Then we got to go. 70% exactly. Oh,
hey,
not
that's
bad.
not bad,
James.
That's not bad.
Those were good words. Those are fun words. Oh, I got to send this to him?
Yeah. You can send it over a picture. Maybe you fax it to him.
Oh, you gave me a little sheet here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that was fun. All right. Appreciate it, everybody. We got to go. More on the Elks tomorrow. Carter O'Donnell hopefully going to join us as well. We're going to have a couple of Elks alumni on throughout the course of the week. One scheduled to join us tomorrow. On behalf of Zachary Kubish and Jason Milne, I'm Reid. Thanks for checking out the show.